All right, welcome everyone. We are in the afternoon session of day one of our NAPF North American Regional Powerlifting Championship, as well as our Pan American Regional Powerlifting Championship. And I am welcome with a friend of mine from Canada, IPF World Champion, Team Canada coach Robert King. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent, man. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming on here and helping us out here for the afternoon session, which is going to be our 43s, 47, and 52 kilo class.
Should be a great session, Arian. Always good to see you. And Mike, thank you as well. Really appreciate it. We should have a lot of fun, some great lifting. We started the morning here with the Special O, which kind of kicked things off here now for this week. And now we're going to move into the next session and should see some really good lifting coming up here.
Yeah, definitely. And so for those who watched the morning session, we had our Special Olympians. They did great. And now we're going to go into our afternoon session. Like I said, 43s, 47s, and 52s. You can see the lifting cast scoreboard right now on the live stream. If you want to see it throughout the competition, you go to liftingcast.com. Go look for our North American Championship Day 1 and pull that up. And you can see all the battles that are going to be going down today in this session here.
We're quite fortunate to be here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. What an incredible place this is. The weather, the ocean, the people, it's just been, you've been here before, right?
Yeah, I came the last time a couple years ago. We had the North American Championships here. It was great. So, of course, I wanted to come back when I got offered this position. Those of you watching live stream, you know, you're missing out on Cayman Islands, but you can watch the lifting, and we'll be looking at the live stream throughout the championship. So if you want to say any hellos to any athletes, any special shouts, whatever, throw it there in the chat, and we'll try and get to it throughout the session. So we're about to get started right now with our first lifter, Alexis Swayze from USA. He's going to be opening up with 85 kilograms. So we're making sure we're getting the weights correct. We're getting our spars and loaders out there, making sure the athlete's ready to go. And we are about to get started.
And these should be pretty fast flights with a little bit smaller flights. It should go by pretty quick, which keeps the lifting moving fast. It doesn't give the lifters quite as much recovery time, but I think with the smaller women, you know, they should be able to recover a little bit better. So we're going to see a fast and furious session coming up here.
Correct. So for those that watched the morning session, we had 12 athletes in one group, and it went pretty quick, as you saw, 2.5 hours. Now we're going to have 16 athletes in two groups. The first group is 8, second group is 8. First athlete here, Alexis, 85 kilos. Let's see how she can start it off for us. All right, nice and smooth. You'll see the referee lights pop up at the bottom.
3 white lights. The lift is good. Nice and easy open here. Gets her on the board and then sets up her next attempt. Excellent opening attempt.
Yeah, and for those who saw the morning session, because we had the one group, we had the 20-minute breaks between disciplines. Now that we have the two groups, it'll only be 10-minute break between disciplines. And if you're here to watch an athlete in the second group, Flight B, you can go again on Lifting Cast and see. It'll take some time. We're going to go through all the Flight A squats first. Here we have Chiaki Takada, 90 kilos. And Chiaki's competing on our Masters 3 division. That is our 60 to 69-year-olds. And opening up almost double body weight right here.
Yeah, incredible for a Masters 3 lifter at 47. Like, nice.
And the referee say 2 white lights, good lift. So you'll see there a red light and a red infraction card under there for the right referee. That's going to be, they thought that the referee didn't go, that the lifter didn't go deep enough in the squat, but you only have to get 2 out of the 3 referees to agree with you. So that's still a good lift there for Chiaki. We're going to load up now for Ella Haynes, 92.5 kilograms. And this is actually going to be a regional record attempt, Robert, to start us off here.
It's a nice way to raise the bar from the beginning and the first attempt. Let's see how this goes now for Daniela.
Yeah, so like I said, this is the North American and the Pan American Regional Powerlifting Championship. So this is going to be a Pan American record here that she's going to be taking on the first attempt. Just waiting for the referees to give her the squat command.
Sticky in the middle, but no up and down. I think this should be a good attempt.
Agree with you, Robert. Good lift.
Good. Arian, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the NAPF versus, the Pan Americans and how that works.
Yeah, definitely. So the North American Championship is what we run yearly here in North America. NAPF is for our North American Powerlifting Federation. But then we have the Pan American Championships that happens every 2 years, and it bounces back and forth between North America and South America. So each continent gets to host it each time. So this time, it's here in North America, and we get to host it. And our next athlete here, Emma Horn, 95 kilograms. She's competing in the University Cup, so we've been adding, first the University World Championships at the IPF level. Now we're starting to add some University Championships here at the regional level as well.
Great to see. Let's see how this opening attempt goes now for Emma.
Very narrow stance there.
Yeah, actually, I was going to chat with you about this in a second once she gets her attempt on the board.
3 white lights, good lift.
Really good lift. So let's talk a little bit, Arian, about the squat stance. I'm sure it's something that you've seen, competing, coaching and seeing internationally and stuff. A lot of the women I've noticed over the last couple of years, not a lot of them, but just some of the countries and some of the teams, they seem to be bringing the stance in a lot more versus that wider stance.
Yeah, for sure. Our next lifter up here real quick is going to be Katie with 97.5 kilos. And yeah, it all depends on the athlete, where they feel comfortable and where they feel strongest. Maybe now we're in the smaller weight classes, 43s, 47, 52s. So we'll see more of these narrow stance.
See this opening attempt here now from Katie.
Looks like that was also a regional record attempt there.
It's a nice opening attempt. She kind of dips into the hole of the squat pass, gets a nice little rebound out of the bottom. Looks like she's got a lot more there as well. Only 16 years of age, absolutely amazing. And then next up, we have Fernanda De La Cruz from Mexico. She's going to be opening with a 100-kilo squat. I think this is going to be a record as well, from what I can see, Arian.
Yes, looks like it's going to be a regional record as well. All right, just making sure we're getting the right angle, the right camera set up for you all to see Fernanda here, 100 kilos, regional record attempt in the sub-junior 52-kilo class.
Might have cut that one a little short. The referees have a better angle, so we have to see what they say.
And there you go. So those 2 red infraction cards going to be for depth. So the chief and one side referee thought she did not go deep enough.
Yeah, and you can see, basically, to me, in the replay from that angle, it looked like, on the right side, it looked like her hip was good. On the left side, she might have kind of kept it high, and then the head referee kind of called it to see. But sometimes some lifters will have, a little bit of hip deviation and, drop one hip more. But I think in this situation, it looked like probably just a little bit of nervousness. Hopefully now in the next attempt, she'll come out and clean that up a little bit.
For sure. So we had our first miss here in our opening round, but let's see if we can bounce back. Next athlete's going to be Carla Garcia from Mexico, 105 kilograms for her opening attempt. We have 2 lifters left in the first round, and then we'll strip the weight down and go back top of the order for second attempts with these same athletes.
And if you notice just then when Carla came out with the many rules that are in powerlifting is that when she gets on the platform, the only thing that you're allowed to adjust on the platform is your belt, wrist wraps, everything else has to be done. The belt you can adjust on the platform. And let's see now how this opening attempt goes for Carla.
A little bit more of a moderate stance, sank it deep, but a little bit slower than...
Yeah, a little sticky in the middle, but looked like a good opening attempt. Probably another 2.5 there on the next one if she can maybe dip a little faster, get up a little faster. Like I said, a little sticky in the middle, but you stuck with it well and made that attempt.
Yeah, so now we're on our final athletes of the first attempts. Jaylyn Fernandez from USA, taking it up to 115 kilograms.
With a shorter flight like this, the turnaround time is going to be a lot faster. We're basically, after this one, back to the top of the seconds now. It's going to fly by.
Bars loaded.
And yeah, you see it?
Yeah, that's good. Now I want to mention, everyone, we're doing this championship from the lowest weight class all the way up. So it includes all the age divisions as well as the classic and equipped together. So now we have Jaylyn, our first equipped lifter, competing in the equipped sub-junior 47-kilo class.
What you're going to see with the equipped lifting is almost like a whole different style of lifting compared to classic. And with the equipped, often, getting your depth is going to be some of the most difficult thing. Getting that squat depth, and she did good. That 2-to-1 take that anything, especially with equipped.
Right on cue, yeah. The one red infraction card for depth, and with those tight knee wraps and the tight suit, you really have to be patient and really fight your way down there to get down the depth. But she got 2 white lights. All you need is majority in powerlifting. So we've gone through all our opening rounds. 7 out of our 8 athletes got a good lift. We'll see if Fernanda can come back on the second attempt. Now we're going top of the order. Our first athlete again is going to be Alexis, 92.5 kilograms, just 2.5 kilograms under her personal best, competing in the sport for 3 years.
Bars loaded for Alexis.
Last one looked good. This is a little slowish kind of, but sometimes as they get going, the adrenaline picks up a little bit and things get a little faster. So this should be a good jump for her, attempt-wise. Let's see how this lift plays out for her.
Yeah, I'm sure you experienced a lot, Robert, as a coach, that those athletes are scared of that first attempt of the competition. Once they get that first one in, then the confidence starts building.
Yeah, like I said, if you look at her first attempt compared to that one, I think that one she committed to it a bit more, moved better, didn't get stuck, didn't slow down at the top, and powered through it. Good attempt, 2-to-1.
Yeah, one yellow card. Not exactly sure what that was. Let's see if we can see from the side.
Yeah, I don't.
Didn't see much of an issue. Maybe it was, sometimes it's depth and the referee hits the wrong button or something like that, but everything else looked good. And it looks like she has a little bit more in her, so I think she can get towards tying that personal best, maybe going for a new personal best. And now again, another one, Chiaki going 95 kilograms, 2.5 below her personal best. You're going to see this a lot of athletes getting that first one in, start building towards a personal best.
Get the nerves out, get on the board, build a little bit of confidence, and then kind of ride that wave as you start to go into the bench press and the deadlift. But that first squat, as a coach and as a lifter, as you know, it's just, that's gonna, once you get that one done, you always feel better.
Here we go, another narrow stance here, toes forward for Chiaki, 95 kilograms on the bar.
Easy squat. Let's see if she's got the depth on the sides. Yeah, great lift.
Good lift for Chiaki. We're going to take it up now, 100 kilograms. This is our only athlete who didn't get a opening attempt in, and the coaches are deciding to repeat that weight and see if they can execute properly now in the second attempt.
Yeah, we'll see if this one, if the coach had a chat with her, maybe she was a little bit nervous. You can kind of see when she shook her head when she walked off. And, only 2 years in powerlifting, so still very, very new to powerlifting stuff. But, we all make mistakes on the platform. It's then when you learn from them and then come out for your next attempt and try to learn from those mistakes. So let's hope that Fernanda can come out and, maybe get a little bit more confidence, a little bit tighter and commit to it. Let's see how this attempt goes for her now.
Gets the squat command. Depth looked better there.
Yeah, see, that looked like a much better lift. I think we'll see what the referees say always, but yeah, I think the first one she was just probably a little,
Yeah, and you can kind of sometimes see it when the hips lock up and they cut it short and they tip over. Here you can see the hips drop down better, get that bounce out of the bottom, stayed in position better on the way up.
And, it's clearly not her first competition. She's been, lifting for a few years now. And to get to the NAPF, you have to go through the, getting the standards of competition and stuff like that. But, for her, it's probably her first time at a bigger international meet. That can always be a little bit nerve-wracking. So she did great on her second attempt. We'll see what she does with her third as we move now into Daniela Haynes from USA.
Another young athlete, sub-junior, another new person in the sport, only 2 years, and just below her personal best, 5 kilos below. She should be able to get this one and maybe work towards that for the third.
Really nice.
Smooth second attempt there.
Yeah, that's a great lift. I like that how she kind of, not every lifter can do this, but how she kind of, starts a little slow and then she accelerates through the whole of the squat. You can see a little slow and then boom, hits it with a bit more speed, which allows her to rebound up better. Really nice squat, really nice attempt.
Taken up to 102.5 kilograms now, our athlete Emma Horn from USA in the University Cup here.
So maybe after Emma's attempt, you could probably tell us a little bit about the University Cup and tell our listeners about the University Cup and what that's all about. But let's watch Emma take this second attempt here now, 102.5. again, with that narrow stance. Really long legs as well. It's going to be interesting to see what she can do in the deadlift. I'm probably going to have a good sumo if she pulls sumo. Yep.
Solid second attempt there.
What's your lifting forward?
Referees say 3 white lights, good lift. And, you know, the University World Cup just happened, and the USA initially had nominating athletes for that in Turkey, then decided to pull the athletes out. And so one of the things they decided to do here for NAPF was make sure they add the university division here at the North American and Pan American Championships and allow not only U.S. but then other countries to nominate their athletes as well. So for the U.S., it gave these athletes a competition to go towards and do their testing and all the training they've done. And then the other countries as well could submit their athletes.
Awesome.
So now we're loading up 105 kilograms for a Pan American record right here for Katie from USA.
That's 52 kilograms, so that's her maximum body weight.
This is double body weight squat here for Katie.
Big air, fight! Go, try it!
Good bounce out of the bottom. 3 white legs.
She's got probably a 110 in the tank here for sure. Braces hard and then basically almost like attacks that squat, drops in, not conserving at all. Really, really nice attempt there.
Taken up to 112.5 kilograms now for Carla Garcia from Mexico. And as you're seeing, like I said, we're going by weight classes, so you're going to get a mix of all the age divisions. So we just saw a sub-junior lifter. We're now going to see open lifter. At the beginning of the flight, we saw Masters 3 lifter. So we're getting the whole mix from 17 years old into the 60-year-old, all here competing in the sport of powerlifting.
That's one thing of the many things that I love about the sport of powerlifting is it doesn't matter if you're 17 or if you're 70. You know, like you're going to always be, you know, competing against people of the same age, same weight class and stuff. So it's always a great sport in that regard. But it's nice to see the mix of lifters that we have here today and overall at the NAPF Pan Am Championships.
Here goes Carla, 112.5. That's a good fight there, Robert.
She grinded through that one. Let's see what the referees have to say. 2-1. So yeah, you can see a big difference in the lifting styles of how people lift. You know, she was a little more conservative on the descent, didn't hit the hole with quite as much speed, and everybody has their own style of squatting. But generally, if you're really conservative on that descent and really conservative coming out of the hole, it's going to be harder to develop that speed once you start to accelerate to finish the lift.
And with the yellow infraction card, from the replay, it looked like maybe the referee thought it dipped down a little bit. But again, 2 white lights, good lift there for Carla. And so now we're moving on to our final lifter for the second flight, 122.5 kilograms on the bar for Jalen Fernandez, our equipped sub-junior athlete here.
We'll see if this one moves a little bit better for Jalen, because often with the, you know, as you know, Arian, with the knee wraps in the suit, sometimes you need a bit more weight to allow you to kind of get your depth and to sink into that squat. So usually sometimes the heavier it gets, sometimes it allows the squat to be a little bit better. So we'll see how her depth in this attempt goes.
And now we're seeing that wider stance as well for the equipped lifter to get those knees out, really load that suit.
That's good, it's close, but we'll see what the referees have to say. Yeah, so like I said, the first one, you know, a little harder to get that depth, and same with the bench shirt. When we get to the bench shirt, is sometimes that extra little bit of weight allows you in the suit and in those knee wraps to just sink the weight down a little bit more. Great attempt for her. 3 white lights, can't ask for more than that.
Definitely, and all our athletes hit their second attempts, so now everyone has at least one good lift in, and they can continue on with the competition. We're not going to have anyone bomb out here on the squats, which is a great start here for this weight class or weight classes for this championship. So now we're going to go top of the order, third attempts. Alexis is back up, going for a new personal best here. She's asking for 97.5 kilos on the bar. This is where the athletes are really going to start pushing themselves.
Yeah, her last one looked good. Her squats across the board have looked pretty good today and stuff. She'll probably come out now and be a little bit more aggressive and kind of commit to this one now, where she doesn't have anything to lose. She's already got 2 in. She wants to get this PR in. So let's see how this lift goes now for Alexis.
So Alexis is going for a personal best here. Her previous was 95
There you
kilos.
go, gets all set up, gets that squat command, 97.5 kilos. A little bit close on depth, Robert, from what I'm seeing. You know, I'm sitting back here. All right, what do I know?
I wasn't going to say anything on that because out of the two of us, I'm probably the most blind. So I'm just letting the referees do their call, and I'm looking at the replay.
Yeah.
So depth was a great attempt. Like I said, her opener was a little, you know, she got better as she went. As she progressed along, got heavier. You know, committed to that one with a bit of speed. That little head nod as she's coming up, letting everybody know she's got it.
Correct. And Alexis goes 3 for 3 on squats, ends with a personal best. So great job. We're loading up now for Chiaki, 100 kilograms. Like I said, she's our Masters 3 athlete here. So not only is she doing double body weight, but in her 60s. You know, you don't see that in any regular day.
Amazing. So for anybody who trains in pounds, I know we always use kilos here, but anybody who trains in pounds, 225-ish pounds on the bar. Her squats will look good. Let's see how this goes.
That's a good one.
Man. 2-1.
2-1. One red infraction card for depth, but good lift. Chiaki also goes 3 for 3 on the squats.
Yeah, while that, you know, narrow stance squat style looks strange, and, you know, probably anybody with longevity and powerlifting, it seems that, you know, it's a different style of squatting, but it clearly works well for a lot of female lifters. Great to see.
Yeah, it can vary a little bit on, you know, height, how your hips are built, what muscles are stronger.
100%.
And also back then when equip lifting was much more popular, you used a wider stance. Now as classic is really growing, you're seeing more moderate and narrow stances lifters. So now we have Emma with 107.5 kilograms, also going for a personal best here on her 3rd attempt.
And Emma with that close stance squatting style, even her walkout, you can see the feet now and stuff like that. Long levers. But that narrow stance has been working well for a lot of lifters, and it's been working well for Emma. So let's see how her 3rd attempt of 107.5 goes here.
Come on.
Oh, close.
Close, good attempt though. She, you know, put everything in 105. You know, it's easy in hindsight when you're watching to say that 105 might have been there, but you know, you make the calls that you see that day, and you take a shot at it. And she did great, 2 for 3 on squats.
Yeah, and these athletes only compete so many times a year. Maybe on the low end 1 to 2, maybe on the high end 4 to 5. And so when you have a chance to go for a new personal best, you know, you got to take a stab at it. You may not have another chance for months.
100%. That's what you came here for, especially on thirds, you know. The way I always try to like say it, I'm sure you kind of think the same thing, is first one gets you on the board, generally as the coach. Second one is something that I'm confident that the lifter is probably going to be able to do. And then third, hey, if things go well and you want to put something on, put it on. Let's see how this goes now for Fernanda.
Going for a new personal best, 107.5 kilos. Oh.
Yeah, it was a bit of a big jump after missing the 100 and then 100. So that was, you know, but what do? She's on the board. She's in the game.
Correct. She's still got one squat, so she gets to move on. And, you know, she had the depth issue on the first, adjusted the depth on the second, and then maybe, reached a little bit too much for that kind of depth. Maybe her strength wasn't there today. They'll have to just make an adjustment in training going forward. But weight stays the same now, 107.5 kilograms again for a Pan American record for Ella Haynes from USA. Another one of our sub-junior athletes.
Team USA always representing well, and great lifters, great coaches, great team.
Yeah, definitely. We have the sub-junior and junior worlds coming up, and we have a large team for that. And then for the athletes, you know, can't make that team, maybe this is a easier trip for them, or the timing with school and everything works out better for them. We usually get a big team here as well at the North American Championship.
Nice.
That's a good grind there.
Good coaching as well. You could hear the coach on the side. You could hear the cues when she was setting up and when she goes.
Yeah, so you hit that little sticking point, stay with it, stay in your position as best you can, fight through, lock it out. So Ella goes 3 for 3 there on the squats and a new Pan American record. Now we're going to load up 112.5 kilograms. This will also be a Pan American record and a new personal best for Katie.
The bar is loaded for Katie, 112.5 kilograms. Let's go, Katie.
16 years old, only been competing in the sport for 2 years, so been competing since 14, maybe been training since before that.
B flat, no more squat opener changes.
We're down to our final 3 squatters for flight A, and then we will jump straight into flight B squats.
Big air, tight. Drive up, drive up,
Nice. Beautiful squat. She stuck with that one really nice. It had a little bit of resistance about midway. Didn't panic. Stuck with the lift.
Great job. 3 for 3 on the squats. New personal best and new Pan American record for Katie. We're going to take it up to 115 kilos now for Carla Garcia from Mexico. And if you're watching live stream and you're asking how can you see all the numbers, again, go to liftingcast.com, look for our NAPF competition day 1, and you can see which athletes are competing, when they're coming up, who they're competing against, all that kind of stuff.
Carla coming up here, 30 years of age, representing Team Mexico. Mexico seems to have a good representation here at the championships. Let's see how Carla's third attempt goes. Good jump, 112.5 to 115. You know, especially for women and the smaller body weights and stuff, you know, those little 1.25s aside, they can be the right call instead of going too much. We'll see how this attempt goes now for Carla.
She got that controlled descent again, but let's see whether the depth was good enough for the referees.
Yeah, take it, 2-1.
Yeah, and 1 blue card, so that wasn't even for depth, you know. Let's watch the replay and see if we saw.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah. I don't know what the referees might have saw there for a blue, but on the replay, we didn't see it on the live, and we didn't see it too much in the replay, so good attempt.
Yeah, Carla goes 3 for 3. We're down to our final squatter for flight A. It's going to be Jalen Fernandez, our equipped athlete from USA, taking 127.5 kilograms for another Pan American record.
And she's doing great in equipped because, you know, as you know, with equipped, things can go wrong a lot easier. You know, just things can happen. You can just make mistakes. The gear, the you know, everything is set up. So, you know, hitting her first 2 attempts on squat is great. Let's see how this 127.5 goes for her. I think judging off her 122.5, this might be good. So we'll see how it goes.
Good try.
You can see with that really slow descent and stuff like that, you know, it just makes it sometimes a little harder to get that rebound when you're kind of holding tension and just kind of waiting. And you kind of lose that little bounce out of the bottom. But she did really well, 2 for 3 in equipped. Take that any day on squats. As we move into now to Isabella.
Yeah, Isabella, another one of our university athletes, Grand Canyon University, opening up with 85 kilograms to start her flight B. And just to finish off with Jalen, like you said as well, it's a quick flight, 8 lifters. And for equipped lifting, by the time you go and sit down, you get a couple minutes rest. They got to start wrapping your knees again and sending you out again. So it's tough with these smaller flights and the smaller session, but the coaches will start adjusting to the day. You have to adjust for any sport as an athlete to what's going on that day. So we're seeing adjustments in depth. We'll see some adjustments as well based on the speed of the meet. So let's see what Isabella can do. 85 kilos. Starting us off flight B.
Easy squat open. Should be good. Gets her on the board. She looked a little nervous and tentative at the start, but once she got going, she was good. We'll see now how the next attempt goes.
Next up will be Catherine Wynn, 105 kilograms, representing Canada.
Just this morning coaching with Team Canada for the Special O, and they all did amazing. We had a great time. The coaches did a wonderful job. We've got a great team, and they kind of set the stage now for things to go for the week. And I was just talking to Catherine and backstage and stuff like that. So let's see how her squat goes at 105 kilos. Rack height, she wants it fixed because it seems to be about as tall as her, so it could be a mistake in the rack heights. I'll get this fixed up for her.
Yeah, my favorite athlete from the morning session, of course, Phil Brown from Canada. Yeah, everyone's favorite. He was having a blast. He was bringing the intensity. So now we'll see, these athletes here in the afternoon session, what kind of intensity they can bring. So they got the rack height set up correct now for Catherine, 105 kilos on the bar.
We'll come back and have a little chat about Phil in a second as we watch Catherine's opening attempt here with 105 kilos.
Yeah, very methodical, breaking the hips, the descent, bounce out of the bottom, and easy.
Great attempt. Let's see how things go now for second and their third. But yeah, as for the special O this morning, they're amazing to watch. They just seem so happy and they're all loving it and stuff like that. But yeah, Phil's great. Phil, if you happen to be listening to this, we wanted to say hi and congrats to you and great job, and always a pleasure to see you and to work with you and to see you lift. We're all proud of you from Team Canada.
Next up, we have Abby from Mexico. Only 1 year in the sport, and opening up at 115 kilograms, only 7.5 kilograms below her personal best. So you'll see this oftentimes with the younger athletes and the ones that haven't been around the sport as long, how fast they can progress in their numbers.
And she seems very calm on the approach. She just walks out, takes her time. You'll see some lifters are a bit more ampy. And speaking of ampy, we were talking about Phil Brown a few minutes ago. Phil was out running sprints before his attempts out running around. We had to keep an eye on him, but he did wonderful. But now she's super cool and calm, collected. So we'll see how this opening attempt of 115 goes for Abby. Yeah, looks good.
Solid.
Yeah.
And the referees like it, 3 white lights. And as you're seeing now in this flight, we have a mix: U.S. athletes, Canadian athletes, Mexican athletes, and we had more of the sub-juniors in the first flight. Now we're going to have some of the junior athletes in this second flight. So Autumn is up next, 117.5 kilograms. Going to be one of our equipped juniors representing USA.
Do you know offhand how many lifters Team USA has brought to this NAPF Championships? Any idea of a ballpark?
A ballpark, I'd probably say over 50, but maybe not quite 100.
Lifter, juniors, so between 19 and 23 years of age.
Autumn again in the equipped. You can see those knee wraps she's got on. 117.5 opener. Again, you can, like Aaron was saying, with the wider stance, which is going to basically, allow you to get your depth a little bit easier, and you don't need to go too deep in the squat because it's pretty much impossible. Coach is walking her through it, calling everything. Let's see what they say. Yeah, great to see.
3 white lights, good lift. And sometimes you might see a slightly harder opener for the equipped, but you don't know what adjustments the coaches are going to make as far as what adjustments to the suit they do or how much tighter they make the wraps, which then can help for the next attempts.
Next up from Canada, Joey Lee in the 52 kilo class. She's been powerlifting for 4 years now, and she has a 122.5 PR, so she's just opening underneath her PR. So let's see how this 120 goes for her.
Team Canada in the junior 52 division.
And we have another junior as well in this flight, so we're going to have Mexico and Canada battling it out right here. And Joey's starting it off right.
Nice squat. Nice squat. She's got a lot more in the tank looking at that attempt.
Yeah, and we saw Abby earlier at 115, now we saw Joey at 120, so it's going to be a little back and forth here on squat, and then finally leading up to the total. Next up, Jacqueline from Mexico, 130 kilograms, just 1 year in the sport.
Wow.
So another newbie compared to us old guys. How many years have you been around now, Robert, in the sport?
Too many. Too many. Did my first competition in 1999. Didn't know what I was doing. I was a bodybuilder who liked to do powerlifting style training. Had no idea about powerlifting. Went into the meet strong, bombed on bench because I didn't know anything about press command. So aside from that, around 2012, I think, after an injury is when I got back into powerlifting. So I've got a good few years under my belt in terms of coaching, competing, and everything else. How about you, Arian? Let's see how this 130 goes now for Jacqueline. Look good. In close, but look good.
Well, we'll get back to that discussion. Yeah. 3 white lights there. She's competing in the open, so there's actually 4 athletes all competing against each other. 2 from Mexico, 1 from Canada, 1 from USA, so that'll be a good battle, and we'll see how the 2 Mexican athletes go against each other. And before I talk about myself, I want to ask you as well. So you said you started in 1999. When did you win your first world championship?
That would be 2 or 3 years ago, I think, when we had the Worlds in Newfoundland. I had competed in, just off the top of my head, I believe between bench and 3 lift, I think I've done 7 or 8 world championships, and then was very grateful and fortunate to compete at Newfoundland and win my first world championship. And then after that, now after my hip replacement, I'm semi-retired. So it was a great way to kind of, compete and have a great experience, and then just kind of leave it for now. But it was a great opportunity.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. Here we have Ariel from USA competing again in that open 52 kilo class, taking 137.5 kilograms for opening attempt. That's 303 pounds. So now we're over 300 pounds for these opening attempt squats.
52 kilo body weight.
Very controlled.
Semi-narrow stance, toes kind of straight, but 2 to 1. Hey, take that at a time, right?
Yeah, one red infraction card for depth, but the other 2 thought it was fine. So she's good lift. And
on the board.
Yeah, on the board. We'll move to our final squatter here, Christy Sim from Mexico, 145 kilograms. The reason why I bring that out, Robert, is just so that people know, you started somewhere around 1999 and it took you 20 or so years to win your first world championship. So people have to stick around, you never know when it's coming.
No, the thing is, like, something I try to say to all my athletes is, you got to show up. You got to show up, you got to show up, and then, if you keep showing up, good things will happen. Sometimes people show up and they do their first worlds. Like for me, my first worlds, I didn't have the showing I wanted, kind of walked away, not happy with myself, not happy with the way I performed, and I was ready to quit. I didn't quit, decided to keep going back into it. The following Worlds did much better, took a Commonwealth deadlift record, 3rd place in deadlifts, and then started to move forward. So, if you're a new lifter and you're getting to the higher levels and stuff, sometimes, a little bit of a rough patch can be a great opportunity for you. Let's see how this 145 goes now for Christy.
Oh.
Quicksand.
Yeah, so we had our 7 of our 8 athletes in this flight, make their opening attempt, but unfortunately here for Christy, it looked like a little bit of, struggle going into the hole, coming out of the hole, and then really try to grind it out. And right there, she had like a little bit of hiccup.
A little dip. Hopefully she didn't hurt anything, kind of like she was a little bit slow walking off the platform. So hopefully it's just, a small mistake. She's got 2 more shots to come out and do it, and we'll see how it goes. So before we get to Isabel, how long have you been at this sport now?
So now we're going second attempts, and we're going to take the weight down. So I started in 2011, so not quite as long as you. And I competed my first NAPF North American Championship in 2015 in Canada, and then it took 10 years from then till this year, 2025, for me to compete in my first World Championships. I just competed in the bench press World Championships in Norway. So, I'm not as strong as you. I'm not strong as these athletes here, but even for someone like me, all these years, just go to nationals, see what happens, make it to my first international with NAPF, and then 10 years later get the opportunity from Powerlifting America. Hey, do you want to go compete at Bench Worlds? Sure, I'll take it.
Like I said, keep showing up. Keep showing up.
So here goes Isabella, 90 kilograms on the bar for her second attempt.
Nice.
Solid, maintain her position well. No real slowdown. 2 white lights.
And, international meets, as the stakes are a little higher. There's a bit more pressure. The first time if you do an international meet and you walk into a competition and you see people from different countries and different jackets and different flags, it can be a lot more overwhelming than just competing at your own kind of like national championships. So, sometimes coming to these international meets can be a little bit of a bit of an eye-opening experience for some lifters, but you come in, you get the experience, you learn from it, you learn from your mistakes, and then just get back to the drawing board and do better. And if you just keep doing that, often enough, keep your body healthy as you can and just keep showing up. And if you do, good things will happen. That's one thing I love about the sport of powerlifting is it does reward you in many ways from the work that you put in. As we move now into Catherine's next attempt, 112.5, representing Team Canada. She was very calm backstage, easy going. So let's see how this second attempt goes now. Nice.
Solid second attempt there. That's kind of what you want to see. 3 white lights, good lift for Catherine. That's kind of what you want to see for a second attempt. You don't want to see all out because then you have nothing left for the third. But you want to be able to use that second to gauge what you have left on the third.
And as you know, too, when you're doing 3 lift, if you come out and you push too hard and you go all out and you basically grind on squats, or you got a long afternoon ahead of you. You've got bench warm-ups, 3 bench attempts, deadlift warm-ups, deadlift attempts. So it's not a sprint. You've got to kind of pace yourself a little bit, conserve your energy, because when you get to the deadlifts, you might need it.
So here we have Abby again from Mexico, 122.5 kilograms for her second. Is going to be matching her personal best right here.
Like I said, in her last attempt, she walks out, super cool, nice and calm. You're going to see all lifters have their own kind of preference when it comes to, energy and intensity and stuff like that. But for the most part, being calm is a good skill to have. Let's see how this 122.5 goes now for Abby.
Yeah, really solid. And you'll see these athletes, based on their maxes, maybe taking more like 7.5 kilo jumps from first to second, and then maybe we'll see her take maybe more of a 5 kilo jump from second to third. So now we have Joey from Canada taking 127.5 kilograms again, another 7.5 kilo jump, and going for a new personal best. You can see there her best is 122.5. She's opting for 127.5 for the second.
We should have a few battles this week between Team Canada and Team USA going on. Should be fun. We'll see how things play out in the awards ceremony on the banquet on Saturday night. She's probably got another 5. This is five smart, conservative in the tank, maybe a little bit more, but we'll see how the coaches make the attempts. The lifters are in very good hands for attempts in the numbers today, so we'll see how things play out in that little battle as we move next into Autumn, going for 130 in the equipped, so 117.5 jumping to 130. So again, a big jump, but with equipped, sometimes this can happen. So we're going to see how this second attempt now goes for her.
Definitely, they may have cranked it up a notch on those knee wraps,
Making the coaches work.
Yeah, and then so now you need more weight to help with that. And so 12.5 kilo jump. Let's see what Team USA can do here.
As she hobbles out to the platform with those tight wraps, let's see how this goes for her. It's half the battle right there in equipped squats. It's just getting that bar out, walking it out, and getting where you need to be.
Nice control descent. All right.
Yeah.
Good try.
Yeah, and there's many, as you know, there's many styles for equipped squatting and stuff. She squats really conservative and slow, and then waiting for the up command from her coach. Personally, for me, that's the way I did it for a while because my hip was bugging me. Didn't really know where depth was, so I would just kind of stay tight, be patient, and then wait for the up call. But sometimes it's also more exhausting to squat that way, and you'll lose that little bounce out of the bottom and stuff. So we'll see how she does for her next attempt as we moved in next now to Jacqueline. 135 on the bar.
Just 2.5 kilos below her personal best here. She's one of those 4 athletes competing in the open. So, aside from just looking at your personal best, you also want to be looking at your competition and seeing how you want to place. So they're playing, the strategy as far as the placing, and then maybe looking at the personal records as a secondary goal.
100%. I mean, if you're here and you're representing your country, the goal, the job should be to place as high as possible and build that total. If you sneak in a couple of PRs or something, that's great, but the goal is to make attempts, and that looked good.
Solid, yeah. They decide for a smaller 5 kilo jump, so we'll see if they are going to do another 5 or play it safe and do 2.5.
I'd say 140 coming up on our next one, looking at that, but we'll see what the coaches put in for it.
Yeah, very smooth second attempt right there.
And like you were saying, if you're in a little bit of a battle, you're going to be a bit more conservative on the attempts. The coaches are going to put in the attempts that you need for the placing to be highest, and then also you have to consider the team points and stuff like that. So there's a lot more going on than just kind of going for PRs. In a battle like that, if PRs come your way, you take them. But maybe if you're competing and there's nobody in your class and you just want to let it ride a little bit, perfect opportunity to do it. But when you're in a battle, the goal is to always try to get as high placing as possible, make attempts, build totals, and build those points for the team overall.
Correct. So now we have Ariel Patra, USA, 145 kilograms per second, just below her personal best. She's competing in the open category as well. Open category, anyone 19 years old and up can sign up for it if they want to.
See what the referees say. Squat looked good. Lots more power in there. But 2-1, take that.
At least it's consistent. That same referee that saw it high in the first, on the second, so maybe that hip is a little bit higher on that side. That's what they're seeing. Right, 2 for 2 so far. We're down to our final squatter for the second attempts. This is Christy going to be retaking that 145 kilos that we saw, where she had like a little bit of hiccup on hitting the hole, and then she, was standing there a little bit out on the rack afterwards. Let's see how she's feeling. Let's see if she can come back and get this one.
Again, looking kind of calm, and that's what I was kind of hoping to see, is not like that you need to be aggressive, but like sometimes being too calm and too collected out there, especially when there's a bit of pressure and stuff, it's going to turn it up a little bit. So let's see now how this goes for Christy with 145. She needs 1 to stay in the competition.
She's fighting through. She's locking it out. Let's see what the referees think. Green lights.
Oh, all right, that was a great lift, and congrats to her on that. That's, sticking with it, getting resistance right there. Didn't panic, and we'll probably put a lot more in on her next attempt, on her third. But she got that one. She's in the meet. She's in the game. Great to see as we go now, basically in Isabella.
Correct, and we don't know. It was 10 kilos below her personal best, so we don't know what's going on, why that was so much more challenging than it should be. But that was like resilience there. That was all or nothing, because if she didn't get that one, she's probably bombing out. But now she got that one, so she's in the meet. She's still in this battle with these other athletes in the open category, in the 52s. And so now we're moving on to our third attempt. Isabella, 95 kilograms here. This is where our athletes are really going to be pushing it here, trying to maximize what they can get out of the squat.
Good attempt selection so far, 85, 1995. We'll see how this goes for her now. Nope, just a bit too much. Happens, gets heavy.
Yeah, sometimes you see that when they come out of the hole, it's a little bit too much, and they start tipping over, and the torso bar starts rolling forward, and you're just too far out of position there. But she got 2 out of her 3 squats, moves on to the bench press. We're going to take the weight up now to 117.5 kilograms. The athlete's going to be Catherine Wynn, taking just 2.5 kilos under her personal best, representing Canada.
Give lots of energy from the audience.
Let's go,
This isn't
Catherine.
weightlifting. It's not supposed to be quiet.
Bar is loaded for Catherine.
Good attempt selection, 7.5 jump on her second, 5 jump on her third. Good numbers there. Let's see how this goes now for Catherine.
She's lifting more than double her body weight here.
And like I mentioned at the beginning, we're coming to the end of squats, so we'll take a 10-minute break once we're done with these third attempt squats, so the athletes have time to warm up for the bench press.
Smooth.
Yeah. Very solid technique there.
Yeah, and nice. I mean, it looked to me like that there was possibly more there, but, words of wisdom from my first Worlds and the coach there at the time, and basically said, it's not what you go for, it's what you get, So it's about the attempts that you make, and afterwards you could be like, oh, there's more there, this and that, but at that time, it's about making attempts, building your total. You go for something a little bit too much and you leave those kilos on the platform. You might need those as you progress forward into the bench press, deadlift, and then overall total.
Correct. And now we're back into our junior 52s. The battle between Abby and Joey continues. Abby is opting for 127.5 kilograms for her third attempt to go for a personal best and keep putting that pressure on Joey.
And again, it is a 3-lift competition, so it's not just about, finishing the most in squat, it's basically finishing the most in total. So you want to kind of get in as many kilos as you can, build your total, make attempts as you move into the bench press and the deadlift. Let's see how this attempt goes now for Abby.
Oh, she was fighting. She was trying to get to that little sticking point. Just not quite there today. So here in the replay, we can see nice good bounce right there at the bottom. and then hits that sticking point, and then just couldn't quite get it. Spotters had to come out there, help her out, but she's still got 2 of her squats, and she'll move on to the bench. And so now we have Joey coming out with 130 kilograms, which is going to be a big 7.5 kilo personal best for her.
Her squats have been looking strong. Like her attempts have looked good. So let's see now how this third one goes for Joey. Walking out calm and confident.
Yeah, seeing for this group a little bit more calm, at least now for the squats. I don't want to get too hyped up. We'll see when we get to the deadlift. Maybe that's when the energy will start coming.
That was a good attempt here, just jumping 2.5. Again, you know, going for attempts that you can get, that you can make versus going for a bit too much. Yeah, that was a good attempt.
Maybe they didn't feel as confident after the second, and then the third one ends up feeling better. But 3 for 3 on squats.
The way it goes.
So now we have the same weight, 130 kilograms. The athlete now is going to be Autumn, who missed this on her second, so she's going to come back and try and get it on her third. You know, again, she's one of our equip lifters, so you have more variables, more things that you can adjust as far as a coach with the suit and the wraps and everything like that to try and come back and get this weight.
Yeah, and with equipped, as you know, it's kind of like generally a lifter might come out in classic, and if it's just too heavy and it's just that it's too heavy, but with equipped, sometimes you come out and the previous one can look, you know, and then you get it. That's why equipped is so fun, but let's see how this goes now for Autumn.
Just really focus on keeping those knees out is what I saw as she's coming out of the hole.
Good job.
Oh. Yeah, I wasn't too sure on the depth, like if they're maybe cutting a little bit higher to come up, but yeah, then she was getting stuck. Spotter grabbed it. You know, again, she got one squat. She'll move on.
The board.
So we're down to our final 3 squatters. Now, first up will be Jacqueline De Luna from Mexico, taking 140 kilograms, which will be a new personal best for her. New to the sport, just 1 year in the sport, and is in a battle right now in the open. So pressure's on to come here and execute this 140 kilos. Bars loaded, ready to go. She's coming out again, another one, calm, collected.
Yeah. Often the setup makes the lift. She's doing a good job taking her time, getting set up, getting everything where she wants before she gets that squat command. Let's see how this 140 goes for Jacqueline.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, pretty smooth.
Very smooth throughout the entire range of motion. That looked good to me. Referees like it. 3 white lights.
Really good lifting.
So another one after this, he goes 3 for 3 in the squats and also comes away with a personal best. Can't ask for anything more than that.
The thing is, too, is, you know, when you're out there and you have a good day on squats and you go 3 for 3 and things go your way and stuff, you're building momentum. You know, you're building positivity. You're, as a lifter and as a coach, you're feeling good versus if you go out and you miss an attempt, you always got that. Good lifters are able to just put it behind them and move forward up to the attempt that's put in front of them. But, you know, if you're making attempts and you're building momentum, it's going to make you feel good going into bench press and then going into the deadlifts at the end.
Yep. Now we're loading up 150 kilograms for Ariel Patra. We have a lot of Ariel friends in the chat, and we're hearing in the chat if you're ready for this, because this is going to be tying her personal best and also being a Pan-American record here. 150 kilos in the 52 kilo class. Second attempt looks strong.
Yeah.
I think she has this 5 kilos in her.
She's coming out a bit more ampy on this one than her previous attempts, you know, pacing a little bit, checking the plates. So she's turning it up a little bit now. So let's see how this 150 goes for her.
She's grinding it out. She's locking it out. Looks good. Let's see what the referees think. She had that right referee calling her. Oh, blue card.
Yeah, that's a good argument there for the coach. If you've got a red and you've got a blue, I think the coach could have a good pot. Yeah, he's coming up there.
So I don't know if the blue, if they thought, you know, did the bar go down, but the coach for USA's ran over to the jury. They're trying to discuss it.
I don't know if he got anything from the jury then or not. I don't know if they just gave him a look and sent him, but you know, if there's anything that the coach can see in that situation to go up and having a conversation with the jury, it's always worth having the conversation. But especially if you get two different color cards, it gives you, as a coach, it gives you a little bit of, hey now, like, you know, what are we calling here, right? It doesn't hurt to have the conversation, especially if you know the rules and you've got two different calls. It definitely makes your presentation of trying to get an overturn a little bit better.
Definitely, and we can't hear what's going on in the jury. Sometimes the coach approaches and they tell the coach, hey, step aside while we discuss it. So I'm not sure if they are discussing or not. But in the meantime, we're loading up now for Christy, 152.5 kilos. She's also going for this Pan American record.
Awesome.
So we'll see if they give Ariel the 150. But regardless, Christy's going 152.5 to try and take that Pan American record.
We'll see how this attempt goes now for Christy, and then we'll kind of come back to like the jury conversation things, because we've both probably done that a few times. It's a fun experience when you got to walk up to that table and be like, hey.
And here's the interesting one, because we've seen Christy, you know, interesting first and second attempt. The second was very difficult, so they're feeling confident here in the third. Oh!
Oui.
And yeah, like I said, there must have been something up, because she had the issue with the first.
Yeah.
The second was a big grinder. You know, maybe they thought they could adjust in the third one, but you know, whatever maybe the issue is, you know, popped up here on the third. You know, they always ask the athlete to stick with the bar. Unfortunately, she lost it here. We didn't hear anything on Ariel. It looks like they're not going to overturn it.
But yeah, in this one here, looking at the replay, basically, like I said, the opener, she looked like she kind of lost. Yeah, see,
As she's
there,
going down, she was already going forward.
Might be something going on with the knees or something. It just seemed like she kind of was like, just get me out of here. And, you know, lifters are taught to stay with the bar. But, you know, you never want to dump the bar, ever, like, ever. But if something goes wrong, you don't really have control of that. Thankfully, she seems okay, and that the spotters and loaders seem okay. So we don't like to see missed attempts, but glad everybody's okay after that.
Yeah. So overall, solid here on the squats. Like I said, we're going to take a 10-minute break now for us to set up for the bench press, and the athletes to finish warming up for bench press, and then we'll be back with flight A. All right, we are back now. Flight A, we are now on to bench press. And so when we get started, our first athlete is going to be Fernanda de la Cruz, 42.5 kilograms.
In the bench press, unlike the squat, squat has 2 commands, squat and rack. Bench press, a little more complicated with 3, start, press, rack. So it's, probably won't see it as much here, but often with new lifters, you make more mistakes with the commands and stuff like that. We'll see now at this level, probably shouldn't see those mistakes, but they still happen. And we'll see now how this opening attempt for 42.5 goes for Fernanda.
A lot more things going on. The athlete can also request the lift off from the spotter and loader, which is what you're seeing here.
Look good.
Very easy opening
Look
attempt
good
there.
on the board.
3 white lights. Have more contact points, the head, the shoulders, the butt on the bench, the feet flat on the ground, a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot more things that you can make mistakes for and get those reds and then the reds and the colors on bench press. A lot of things that can go wrong. And even though it's not, especially with women, it's not the biggest number out of all 3. The bench press adds up. There's a reason it's a 3-lift competition. Is every kilo counts, so you want to try to make attempts on the bench press and keep building your total.
Yeah, we got 47.5 kilograms on the bar now for Katie Falcone. Personal best of 50, so she's starting up just below that.
I mean, this is, 5 kilos. She'll probably be up to that. If you look at, if she gets this and she goes 50, 52.5-ish, she'll be looking at a body weight bench press, which is not an easy thing to do.
Easy.
Yeah, a little bob on the chest, but look good. Let's see what the referees say. 3 whites, yep, she's good. And that looked, could have done 5 reps with that by the look of it. So it's a good get on the board. It sets the stage now for her next attempts and keeps building her total.
Next up, Daniela Haynes, 47.5 kilo opener, 52.5 is her personal best. So she might be another one kind of on track for that.
With her physique structure and stuff too, she'll probably have possibly a good deadlift. We'll see basically once we see her opening attempt. But 47.5 on the bar for Daniela, Team USA. And you'll see some lifters in the bench press, like I said, Arian will take a lift off. Some will do a self lift off. There's no, in terms of judging, there's no, you're not penalized in any way for that. It's just a very much a preference for the lifter.
And just like we saw the narrow stance and wide stance in squat, we're going to see some narrow grip and wide grip here on bench press. So here we're seeing a little bit of a wider grip for Ella.
Oh, nice.
Three white lights, good lift for Ella.
On the board. Looking good.
Yeah, another easy one. Next up, Emma Horn, 52.5 kilograms. Another one just 5 kilograms below her personal best.
You'll see the spotters and loaders basically getting the rack height set up, making sure that the correct weight is on the bar, and then they've also got to adjust the bench press safeties. Those do not come into play in the squat, that's all removed, but with the bench press, even with side spotters, want to have those safeties put in place for protection. We'll see how now this opening attempt of 52.5 goes for Emma. Having a little chat with the head spotter, probably having a little chat saying, hey, on my call or when I take a big breath, as a lifter, the more communication that you can have with the person who's giving you the lift off, the better it's going to prepare you for that lift.
Definitely. Yeah, usually I tell them, 1, 2, 3, and give it to me nice and light. I don't want to get pulled out of position.
And with the bench press, those things matter a lot, right? You lose your positioning, you lose your shoulders, you lose your setup a little bit. The handoff takes you up and out of position. So a good handoff can definitely make a difference in the attempt. So far, so good.
Definitely. Next up will be Jalen Fernandez, our equipped sub-junior, opening up with 57.5 kilograms, which is going to be a Pan American record. So she's starting off hot right here. Record on the first attempt.
We'll have a look at that in a second, see what kind of bench shirt she might have on and see how things go. And again, with equipped, a lot more variables to consider, a lot more things that can possibly go wrong, especially in that bench shirt. As you know, if you've never benched in a bench shirt, you kind of really can't understand what it's like because it's a whole different animal. But we'll see how this goes now for her.
Yeah, just like you can see the slower descent in the squat here, we're going to probably see a slower descent in the bench, harder to touch on the chest, just because the shirt is restricting the movement so much.
Medium with grip on that bar. And we'll see how this touch goes. Essentially with equipped, getting that touch and getting control and controlling that bar of the chest is very hard in the shirt. You've got to have a strong back and control that shirt. Look good? Yeah.
Yeah. Not too much of a fight getting down.
Yeah, that's great.
Drove it back well over the shoulders, so good lift, a new Pan American record for Jalen. We're going to take it up now to 60 kilograms for our next two athletes. First up from USA will be Jackie Takata, our Masters 3 competitor.
And now basically after her last attempt, you know, they'll probably ask her how the coaches will say, how'd that feel? They'll have a look at it, maybe a little bit of a little minor shirt adjustment as you get a little heavier and stuff, but things are feeling good and that bar is touching nicely. You don't really need to change a lot. So we'll see how this one goes now. 60 kilo opening attempt.
Jackie's a friend of mine, so I know benches her lift, and as you can tell, 60 kilos,
Insane.
opener at 47 kilos, Masters 3, this is her lift.
60 kilograms.
So like she said, she just kind of nodded off the lift off. She takes a self lift.
Sometimes, yeah, athletes feel more comfortable that way.
Oh, it's bench mastery right there. Beautiful bench press.
Let's see if the referees like it. 3 white lights, good lift. Like I said, we're going to stick with that same weight, 60 kilograms for our next athlete, Alexis. As we look at the replay here for Jackie, like you said, great technique, great arch, great leg drive.
And the bench is so technical. You know, it's just such a technical lift, especially for women. You can't just get under the bar and kind of, you know, overpower it with strength and muscle. The technical aspect of bench pressing is quite the skill in itself, and especially at the higher levels. Getting that technique dialed in is so important. As we move next into Alexis with 60 kilos on the bar.
Yeah, definitely. The more you're arching and using a very wide grip and everything like that, the more every little bit counts. If you're off just a little bit, it can really throw off your bar path and make things a lot harder.
Nice setup, nice takeout. Nice.
Another easy opener, and the referees like it. All right, we're down to our final bencher, round one. It's going to be Carla Garcia from Mexico. 62.5 kilograms is what she's asking for. Personal best of 70, so this should be a comfortable opener for her as well to finish off the round, and then she can build up from here.
47 kilo body weight, incredible.
Agreed.
You can see she has a belt on. She adjusted the belt as she walked out to the platform. The belt, you know, in bench press, some like it to keep tension. Maybe you know, find it helps your tension, positioning. If your back's a little achy or something, it can help. Some lifters don't bother with it. Some do. It's going to all be a preference, as we'll see now how this 62.5 goes for Carla. Nice reach. Beautiful bench press.
Yeah, very controlled, light touch on the chest, easy on the way up. So, all 8 of our athletes get their opening attempts in. And here we can see the side view here.
That's a pretty bench press.
Yeah. So we're back top of the order. First up, Fernanda De La Cruz, 47.5 kilograms. So going now for that personal best here. Must be feeling strong, must have progressed a lot in the bench press, which happens, you know, when you're 18 years old, you just started training, competing, you know, the numbers are big flying. So let's see what she can do here.
Incredible, you know, to learn lifting at this level and to have the coaching and the experience and the competition and stuff like that. You know, when you're young, it can set the stage of things that's ahead. You know, experience goes such a long way, and especially at this age and stuff.
Definitely.
5 kilo jump from her opener. We'll see how this one goes for her.
Yeah, these lower weights, a lot of times you'll see 2.5 kilogram jumps, but sometimes if they feel confident, 5 kilograms.
Yeah, see, but it can get heavy when you jump 5, and again, you know, don't know what's going on. We don't know the athlete, we don't know the coaches, we don't know the warm-ups. All we can do is kind of call what we see, but bench, especially with the smaller body weights, it can get heavy fast. 2.5 too much is just too much. Hopefully in the third, she'll make an adjustment and come out and get it. At least she's on the board.
Yeah, so now we're going to see Katie taking 50 kilos, which is her personal best, and she took a 2.5 kilo jump because, yeah, that 5 kilo jump around these weights could be like a 10% jump. So 10%, you take your max at home, figure out what 10% of that is. That's the kind of jump they're taking versus the athletes taking a 2.5 kilo jumps. 5% is more reasonable and a little bit more conservative approach here. So let's see if this works out for Katie with 50 kilograms on the bar.
Especially on that bench press where you don't have the same amount of weight, into the bar, into the body and stuff like that. It's just going to get heavier quicker. So this is a good attempt here by Katie. The last one looked really good. Yeah. Making attempts, building a total. Look good.
Yeah, she had no problem going up another 2.5. And now we're loading up for Ella Haynes, 52.5 kilograms for her second attempt. As we watch the replay here for Katie. So another athlete here, Ella, going to be matching her personal best here on the second attempt, hoping to then go for the personal best on the third.
Bars loaded for Daniela, 52.5 kilograms. On deck is Emma.
Like I said earlier, always good to have a good little conversation if you're taking a lift off. Have a conversation, tell them where you want that bar, when you want the bar. Give them the communication, because once that lift is started, you can't undo anything that you might have wanted to say. And so the more you can communicate with the lift off and the person giving you the lift off, the better. As we see how this one goes now for Ella, 52.5 on the bar, digging those shoulders in.
Yeah, making sure she's locked in, shoulder blades.
Smooth.
Yeah, and Ella's actually battling it out in the sub-juniors against Katie Fernanda, who we just saw. So for those of you watching on Lifting Cast, go pull up the numbers and see how close that battle is between those three athletes.
And that's where the true competition is the scoreboard. Like when you're watching the lifting, and if you're just watching it as a, someone who's taking in the sport and this and that, but we know that kind of like behind the scenes, the platform is an aspect of the competition clearly, but the board is what we're always looking at in terms of placing and trying to get the total and the points as high as possible.
For sure. Now we have Emma Horn representing Ohio State University, coming out 57.5 kilograms per second to match her personal best as well. Like I said, she's competing in that University Cup, representing Ohio State University. Using more of that wider grip. Nice, good arch.
Nice benching. Yeah. Really nice benching. We've seen some really good technical benching out there today.
And maybe a little bit slow off the chest, as you see with some athletes with the wider grip. After watch replay here, they'll be a little bit slower off the chest and then faster in the lockout. So the coaches are watching that off the chest to kind of determine, okay, how much more does she have in her today? As we now load up for Jalen Fernandez, 60 kilograms, which is going to be a Pan American record attempt here in our equipped sub-juniors.
So you had a good time at Worlds. You had a great experience. Equipped benching.
Definitely.
Always fun.
Definitely, and aside from just being invited to my first World Championship, saying yes, I had a great experience. So for anyone out there, if you ever get invited to World Championship and you can afford it and have the time for it, you should definitely jump on that opportunity to do so. And because I was in Norway, I decided to take a little trip beforehand to Iceland because I've never gone. So I got a little vacation in Iceland, and then did my competition in Norway, and then went to Reno, Nevada for our age division national. So I did a little whole trip around. Now let's go, Jalen. 60 kilos on the bar. Nice controlled descent.
There's that touch.
Drive it back to the shoulders. She's fighting. She locks out one side. She locks out the other side. What did the referee say?
Not easy to do.
3 white lights.
As she should be.
Good lift.
Awesome.
New Pan American record right there. Let's watch that replay. So for those who don't know the rules, it's okay to lock out one side before the other. As long as the bar doesn't dip down, sometimes athletes have maybe a more dominant side. They lock out that side first, and then the non-dominant side is perfectly fine. So that's why she got 3 white lights.
Great lift.
Now,
We'll see now in the next one, maybe a little adjustment or something. We'll kind of see how it goes on.
yeah. Now we're going to see 63.5 kilograms on the bar for Chiaki Takada. So normally, as you've been seeing throughout this competition, you're seeing 2.5 kilogram jumps because that's the standard. But if you're going for a record attempt, you can chip the record, what we say, which is you can go up to 0.5 kilograms. So she's opting for 63.5 kilograms for her second attempt.
So maybe you can tell us quickly more about the records in terms of the NAPF. What records can you set here internationally at the NAPF?
So normally for the North American Championship, you can set the North American Championship or World Championship records. But since we're also doing the Pan American Championship here, which is every 2 years, now we have the Pan American records available to us as well. So if you're from North America, you can break the North American records, and then you can break the Pan American records and the world records.
Awesome. Good opportunity.
Yeah, so this is going to be a Pan American record and a world record attempt here, as I'm seeing on our screen here. 63.5 kilograms, Chiaki Takada, Master 3 lifter. She drives it up with ease.
Wow.
And the referees say 3 white lights, good lift. So obviously the world records are the highest ones as we watch the replay here. So this is all 3: world record, Pan American record, and North American record. One shot with more in the tank.
Yeah, definitely more in the tank. But see where she goes after that one. Once she got that record now, and that one looked good, might jump to 65, might be conservative and just take that chip. We'll see what the coach is putting on the next one. But looking at that, there's more there. So we'll see what she does.
Yeah, so yeah, she can take anything from 64 up. So maybe they do 65, 65.5. We shall see as we move on now. Alexis Swayze, 65 kilograms for her second attempt, so just below her personal best. And I'm looking at lifting cast here. They put in 66.5, so a 3 kilogram jump, which is very doable.
Very much so.
So we see our first world record of the championship on day 1. Alexis competing in that open age division.
So you'll see she keeps the hips up, takes the bar out, which puts her in a more advantageous position, then lowers the hips to get the start command. Looking good.
Referees say good lift, 2-1. We have the one yellow infraction card. Let's see what we can see from the replay. Oh, right there, the butt coming up on the replay.
Yeah,
so the jury's watching it live in the replay. So let's see if the jury wants to make a decision and overturn it if they want to, which they're allowed because it's 2-1. For now, we'll be moving on for Carla Garcia's next up from Mexico, 67.5 kilograms, just below her personal best of 70.
Yeah, more than likely in that situation, probably the other referee, if they didn't see it or if they missed it, once they get that call, then for the next one, they'll probably have their eyes looking for it. So we'll see how it goes for her third attempt as we move into Carla at 67.5.
Definitely, as humans, we're watching so many attempts. You never know what could happen. Maybe you miss something one time, but then you kind of catch it for the next one. So we'll see if the athlete can also make the adjustment and keep the butt down so they can get another attempt in. Here goes Carla. Ooh, easy, 67.5 kilos.
5 kilo jump, and that looked like she still has a lot more there. It really does attempt.
Yep, so now we're done with round 2, and 7 of our 8 athletes all made their second attempt, so very solid attempt selection strategy here so far. Now we're going top of the order, final round of bench press for this flight A. First up will be Fernanda de la Cruz, retaking 47.5 kilos, which, she matched her personal best in the opener. Maybe pushed it too hard in the second, but let's see. Let's see what kind of adjustments they can get. She felt the weight. See if she can come back and get this.
And this is, again, in hindsight, it's easy to say, shouldn't have maybe taken that 5. But, in this situation, if she hadn't hit the 45, puts her in a better position going for the 47.5. She'll be building a bit of momentum. She would have picked up 2.5 kilos more. But either way, let's see how this third attempt goes for now for Fernanda.
Oh, she got it out.
Yeah.
Let's see what the referees think.
Yeah.
3 white lights. Whatever adjustment they did.
She might have just, got out of position, lost it a little bit. Like, looking at her second, it was like, not a good call. And then comes out and hits this one, and it looks good. So great lifting, great adjusting.
Yeah, now we have Katie Falcone from USA taking 55 kilograms, will be a personal best for her as well as a Pan American record. Another factor too is that Aliko has this new sky pad, quite recently it came out. A lot of athletes don't train with it. They feel the difference. I know I feel the difference. It's a little bit more squishy. You can really dig your shoulders in there, so you have to learn how to adjust possibly your setup to maximize that bench pad.
Yeah, and like little things like, especially the bench press, right? That makes a big difference. I remember the first time I competed on that, I didn't have one at my gym. I have an old Aliko, and just setting up, like I said, it's a bit different. It takes, unless you warm up with it, unless you train with it, it just feels a little different,
There goes Katie.
Good drop.
Yeah, like I said, it can be tough off that chest, and so she just couldn't get it off the chest, and then as far as low as it to come and help her out. She tied her personal best on the second, 2 for 3 on bench press. She'll move on to the deadlift. We're going to stay with that weight, 55 kilograms. Our lifter now is going to be Ella Haynes, trying it for a new personal best and also a Pan American record. Since these 3 athletes are the ones that are competing against each other in the sub-junior 52 kilo class. So not only is it important for that record, but also important for the placing.
Make attempts, keep building that total, and let's see how this 55 goes now for Ella. Having a great day so far.
And you can see everyone has different approaches to how they set up. Some people set their shoulders first and their feet. She seems to like to stand up and kind of set her feet where she wants first, and then lay down and set the shoulders. And the athletes have these 60 seconds from when it says bars loaded to get that start command. You have all that 60 seconds to set up and get tight exactly how you want. She's fighting. She locks out one side and the other. That looks good to me, Robert.
Nice, good lift should be good for sure. Great benching.
3 white lights, 3 for 3 on squats, 3 for 3 on bench, personal best on bench, and that Pan American record.
Great to see it. Funny story, when I first got into coaching, when I first got into lifting, the bench press, especially with women, it was kind of like, you work really hard to add 2.5 to 5 kilos when you can pick up 15, 20 on your deadlift, so let's put a lot of emphasis on your deadlift. However, it is a 3-lift competition. You want to be building your total and everything, and the mastery and the technique and strength of the bench press is so important. So it's great to see some really, really solid lifting from these women out here today in the bench press.
Definitely. Here comes Emma Horn, 60 kilograms for her final bench press attempt, trying to go for a personal best here.
And you can see her setup very different than the previous setup. Everybody's going to have their own way of wanting to set up, and let's see how the 60 kilo attempt goes for Emma. Beautiful bench.
Good fight off the chest.
Yeah.
We're able to lock it out, representing Ohio State University. 3 white lights, go lift for Emma, 3 for 3 in the bench press. A little bit of struggle right there off the chest, and then powered through, locked it out.
Maybe you could talk about I guess you could call it a semi-new rule, the elbow depth rule. Maybe you could discuss that for us a little bit, Arian.
Sure. We got Jalen loading up now, 62.5 kilograms for a Pan American record. And as Robert's saying, we have this elbow depth rule, it's kind of, as we say it for short, is that the referees are looking at the shoulder joint and the bottom of the elbow. So just like we're looking at the hip joint and the top of the knee for the squat, now we have this depth for bench. So they want to make sure that that bottom of the elbow is in line or below with that top of the shoulder, so that we're getting a longer range of motion than what we used to have in the sport. If someone had an extreme arch and max grip, then maybe they can really shorten the range of motion down to 1 inch or 2 inches. So this way, you have to at least bring it down to that point. So here goes Jalen, 62.5, nice controlled descent.
Let's see how the touch goes. Keep in holding position.
Good press, drive it back, and just not there today.
Just a little heavy. Everything looked good, like her previous attempts looked good. Good descent, good touch point and stuff, but just, hey, sometimes things get heavy. She didn't make any technical mistakes. But yeah, getting back to the elbow rule, elbow depth call, I think it's a great addition for powerlifting. I think it's, you just see too many lifters coming out, and the range of motion of the bar will be a couple of inches. And while powerlifting is a strength-based sport, so you should have a certain range and distance, the same with the squat that you have to do. So it's a great addition to the powerlifting rules.
So now here comes Jackie Takada from USA. Broke the world record on the second attempt with 63.5 kilos. Looked pretty easy. So the coaches decided, hey, let's bump you up 3 kilos, up to 66.5 kilograms. So 3 kilos here, you know, somewhere around 5% jump should be doable for her, especially with how that second attempt moved. And like I said before, she's in the Masters 3 age division. That is our 60 to 69-year-olds.
Incredible.
And she's also in that 47 kilo class, which for people who know pounds, is around 103, 104 pounds. And she's doing 66.5 kilos, which is around 147 pounds.
Just hit a world record with a beautiful attempt. Now coming up, jumping from 63.5 to 66.5. And looking at the last one, I think she's got a great possibility of getting this attempt in record. We'll see how this goes for her now. A little shaky of the arms, nervousness and getting fried. Let's see how this goes. Man.
Another easy one.
Wow.
White lights. And the referees like it. Another world record there for Jackie Takada.
Incredible benching.
And since I know Jackie, I know for some of these athletes, especially the ones that have maybe more of a, again, bigger arch max width, sometimes that bench is all or nothing. So you may be looking at like, oh, she's got way more than her, 5 kilos more than 10 kilos, but you never know. Sometimes you add another 1 or 2 kilos and all of a sudden it drops off. Because it's all about technique, staying in position. If you fall out with a little more weight, then you just miss it. So that could have been a perfect attempt for her based on what she feels comfortable with. And hey, why not take the world record bench?
2 of them, right? You know, great. You have a good day when you set 2 world records.
So we got 2 more bench presses here in Flight A. First up, Alexis Swayze, USA, taking 67.5 kilos for her third attempt, competing in that open 47 kilo class.
You're seeing a wide variety of setups. You can see her setup versus the previous lifter. Everybody's got their own setup, and you're going to play with that till it feels good. Let's see how this goes for Alexis.
Good grind.
Yeah. 70 might have been there, but 67.5 definitely looked like the right call, you know.
One yellow fraction car. Let's take a look at the side replay, see if the butt stayed down or not. Oh, it looks like, again, up right there from what I'm seeing here. Let's see what the jury thinks as we move on to our final attempt here for Flight A, Carla Garcia from Mexico. Personal best of 70 kilos. She's taking 73 kilos for a new Pan American record here.
Chips on the bar, so basically just see the spotter come up with the correct chips, show them to the table, show them to the head referee. Again, chips only used for a record. They make sure that the right chips, the right attempt, get the bar loaded for the correct load, and then she'll come out for this 73 attempt. Bit of a jump, but we'll see how it goes for her.
Yeah, they took the 5 kilo jump from first to second, got 2 in, and now like, okay, let's do 5.5. It's not that much different than the 5 kilo jump versus if they did 62.5 to 70, maybe it would have been a little bit more riskier for them if they're not sure how strong she is on the day.
At a 47 body weight, I mean, this is, we don't know what they've got. So we'll see how this goes now for Carla. 73 kilo record attempt.
Nice controlled descent. She's grinding it out. She's grinding it out.
Wow.
And that looks like another good lift to me.
Yeah, let's see if we get the colors now. Yeah, I mean, beautiful attempt. You never know what somebody's got and stuff, but that's why the coaches and the lifters and everything have a good game plan, a good discussion, know what's there, and make the right attempts, and it was a great call, and congratulations on that lift.
Yeah, great finish there to Flight A. Chaki got 3 for 3, world record. Then we had Alexis and Carla go 3 for 3 on the bench as well. Carla getting a Pan American record. So great finish there at Flight A as we now go to Flight B. And so we're going to start off with Autumn, 50 kilograms for her opening attempt. She is our equipped junior competitor.
This is kind of like a nice, the flight numbers and stuff. It's kind of like moving fast, but not too fast. It's not too dragged out. The spotters and loaders are doing a good job of the changes. Everything's just kind of flowing very nice.
Yeah, especially as long as it stays consistent, then the coaches can, time everything appropriately as far as warm-ups and what kind of attempt selection strategy they want to use.
$50 kilo opening attempt for Autumn, 52 kilo class and equipped. So again, we're going to see a slower descent, more controlled here versus the classic bench press.
And she's got that max grip, which is typically what you see in a bench shirt. Easy opener.
Yeah. She's probably going to ramp it up a little bit more now on her second, but she's on the board for equipped. You always love to get that opener.
Yeah, and it wasn't too much of a struggle to get down to the chest,
No.
so we'll see if they make any kind of adjustments going forward. Weight stays the same, 50 kilograms. Our next athlete now is going to be Abby Espinoza from Mexico.
Again, this is just 2 kilos under her body weight. Not an easy thing to do, opening at 50 with a body weight of 52 in raw as a junior. So we'll see how this 50 kilo opening attempt goes now for Abby. Nice. And a little shout out to everybody doing the production team here, like really good camera angles, good, everything has been done so well. I've been around the NAPF now for a few years. Remember the first time when I came here, I kind of didn't know what to expect. And overall, the NAPF Championships, just such a great time. The people are wonderful, the locations they have them, the competitors, just NAPF overall, I have to say, is a great opportunity, great experience. If you ever get the opportunity to attend and compete or experience the NAPF meet, highly recommend it. Just the competition alone is one thing, but then when you get to go to beautiful places and talk to great people who love the sport of powerlifting, it makes overall for an awesome, amazing experience.
Definitely. Here comes Isabella, opening attempt, 57.5 kilograms. And yes, Mike Zalinski, been doing the live stream here for NAPF for a number of years now, always adding a little bit extra, different camera angles, different replays and different graphics, always trying to improve it year after
awesome.
year.
Nice opening attempt there for Isabella at 57.5. Yeah, Mike is just here to the left of us, and Mike, I don't know if he's listening, but you do a wonderful job, Mike, and just wanted to say thank you for everything that you do for the sport of powerlifting and the people involved in it. We're very grateful for you, Mike.
So, this is a nice little addition. You get the double replay from the head and the
awesome,
side.
right?
So,
Yeah.
you at home, you can see basically all the angles. It's kind of like you're here. You might as well go dip your feet on whatever local beaches around you and pull up the live stream, and it's like you're here. So next up we have Joey from Canada, 62.5 kilograms for her opening attempt. And like you said as well, what I've noticed is, hey, all competitions are competitive. People obviously want to do well and place well, but what I've noticed that NAPF is more like a family event. Everyone knows each other, everyone wants to help each other out, hang out together.
Like I've coached and competed at World Championships, a good few times, and NAPF a good few times, and anytime the opportunity comes up for NAPF, I'm like, I'm in, I love it. It's just such a great experience with wonderful people. And let's see how this opening attempt at 62.5 now goes for Joey. Yeah, look good.
Smooth. Referees say 3 white lights, good lift. Yeah, so if you've never been to an NAPF championship before and you live in the North American region, look into your national federation, see what the rules are for qualifying, and come hang out with us sometime.
Yeah, it's a great time. I remember I did my first NAPF, and it was in Orlando, Florida, and Jeff Butt, who was coaching me and helping me at the time, basically recommended the opportunity, came up to go to NAPFs and lift. I was like, yeah, I'll go and check it out. I kind of didn't know what I was in for. And then when I came down and I had such a good time, it was just such an awesome experience. And after that, I was like, any opportunity after that, I'm in. I love everything that the NAPF is doing. Great experience for the lifters, for the coaches, for the referees, everybody involved. It's a great opportunity. So in the future, if you're listening to this, watching this, if you ever get a chance to come to the NAPFs, highly recommend it.
Here comes Christy from Mexico, 72.5 kilograms for opener. She had a little, hiccup here and there in the squat, so let's see if she can start turning things around, build some momentum here on the bench press, starting with this opening attempt.
That's a big arch. Wow, setting up, I could tell. I was like, okay, she's probably going to have a good little bench with that setup. And let's see what the referee's saying now. Yep, elbows were good. 3 white lights.
Yeah, that's just when I was like, wanted to see what it's going to look like as far as elbow depth, and she was really trying to touch very light on the
She's close,
chest.
but she's good, you know?
Yeah, 3 whites, yeah. Yep, so great job for her. Next up will be Jacqueline, 77.5 kilograms, also from Mexico. And so for those thinking about maybe doing NAPF in the future, I have the upcoming calendar pulled up. For this year in October, we're going to have the North American Bench Press Championships in Panama City, Panama. So that one's confirmed. Into next year, we still have to confirm these locations, but the plan is to have the Powerlifting Championships in Belize and the Bench Press Championships in Hawaii.
Awesome.
And then in 2027, we're planning on having the Powerlifting Championships in Canada, Newfoundland, and then they're looking for bids for the bench press, so they haven't decided on that one yet. So those are the planned ones coming up, so if you're ever interested in going to one of those
coming
locations.
to Newfoundland, Canada for NAPFs? No way.
So here comes Jacqueline, 77.5, nice big arch.
Nice bench press.
Easy opening attempt, that's
Good
what
bench
you
at
want.
52.
3 white lights. Down to our final 2 benchers for the opening round of Flight B. First we have Catherine Nguyen from Canada taking 80 kilograms.
So we're going to see you in the shirt area in Newfoundland. Are you going to come to Newfoundland maybe if it comes here for the NAPF? So we'll hopefully see you on the platform there.
For sure, we'll see. I continue to plan on doing our bench press nationals, and then we'll see. If I don't get an invite in the future years for bench press world, then I'll do the North American bench press. Continue to get practice, especially for myself. I train by myself, so it's hard to get practice in the shirt by yourself.
I've seen your videos. I'm watching them. I'm always going like, let's see how this goes.
But I also use a looser shirt because I am training by myself. But then I get more practice when I do the competitions.
Equip benching on your own is not easy as we move into 80 kilo opening attempt from Catherine, Team Canada. Let's go, Team Canada.
Oh, that's
Strong
so
bench.
easy. Referees like it, 3 white lights. So that's kind of exactly how you want an opening attempt to be. And so now we have our final opening attempt will be Ariel Patra from USA, 82.5 kilograms, just below her personal best.
Big bench, man. Very big bench.
And like you mentioned earlier, that's why we have the safeties or the face savers on bench press, which I always use at home because especially in a bench shirt, you never know what's going to happen. You can lose at any time. So I always have those face savers in place so that if it ever falls, it's not going to crush my neck. It's not going to hit my face or anything like that. That's what you're seeing here at the championship. And when you're training at home, if you have some kind of power rack or combo rack and you have the safeties, always put those safeties in place.
Great to see, though, because, a lot of people probably, and again, you don't want to do this without some training and coaching experience, but, great to see you competing at the highest level training on your own. It's not an easy thing to do.
Definitely. Here goes Ariel using that max grip. So you have those power rings on the bar. If you're looking, when she's not gripping the bar, you can see it more clearly, and the index finger has to cover it for the maximum. But then you can go as narrow as you want. So the athletes can choose in that range what they want to go with.
Holy arch.
Yeah, let's look at the head view. All right, close on the left side.
Yep.
Let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights. We're good. All our athletes got their opening attempt, and that's what we want to see. So these athletes, some of them are cutting in close, but it's the same thing with squat depth. No one's going super duper deep all the way down to the bottom.
100%.
You want it right on line so you can maximize the weight you can do.
Some great benching there as we now go into second attempts. Some beautiful benching.
Yeah. Abby from Mexico taking 55 kilograms, which will match her personal best. So we're going to start seeing that just like the last flight. People are like matching their personal best in the second and then going for a personal best on the third, or maybe if they progressed a lot, going straight for that personal best on the second. So Abby just making sure, again, communicate with your lift-off person, let them know how you want it, what count you want, and everything like that, to make sure you're setting yourself up for success with your attempts. And you have that whole 60 seconds as well to let the lift-off person know how you want it and get your setup and everything how you want it. Nice control descent.
Yeah, good bench.
Smooth second attempt.
Nice setup, took her time. Good control, overall great attempt. As we move down to Autumn, I think is next. 57.5 as we watch the replay here. Probably see over time with a bit of experience, she might widen her grip out a little tiny bit, give her a bit more strength there and stuff, but overall a great bench. Let's see how this one goes now. 7.5 jump from her opening attempt for equipped.
Yeah, just varies from person to person, but yeah, you'll see a lot of the lighter, moderate weight classes try and work their way to a maximum grip for the bench so they can try and minimize the range of motion and still be able to use the pecs, the delts, and the triceps to help them out with the movement. So that's what we're seeing here with Autumn, especially in a bench shirt. You can get that maximum grip and really reduce the range of motion and build up that tension in the shirt.
Really nice bench.
Very controlled.
Shirt's probably just nice, you know, not too tight, not too much, just enough that she can work with it versus something that gets a little too tight, might throw her off a little bit, but really great bench overall.
Yeah, and a nice bounce back from the squat where she missed her second and third. Now she's able to come make 2 benches in. Took a 7.5 kilo jump. Maybe they'll do 5 or 2.5 on this third one. So next up, we're loading up for Isabella, Grand Canyon University, 62.5 kilograms, matching her personal best here on the second attempt.
The bar is loaded for Isabella, 62.5 in the 52 kilo class. Having a great day lifting.
Yeah, only been competing for 2 years is what she listed. Got 2 squats in. Let's see if she can get 2 or 3 bench presses here. Continue to build that total.
I love the bench press, but I can't wait till we get to deadlifts and see what some of these women have in store with their deadlifts. But first, we're going to see 62.5 from Isabella.
Got it off the chest, got stuck midway. Just a little bit too heavy for her today. So we'll see if she can come back and get it, but like we said before, for classic lifting, it's a little bit harder to make adjustments and come back and get a third attempt.
Especially with that grip, you know, again, grip is going to be, you know, from many factors and stuff like that, but with the long arms that she has, the long levers, with the narrow grip on the bench press and stuff like that, you know, often you'll hit quicksand of it'll move in a certain area quickly and then you'll just hit a wall and stuff like that, but we'll see how our next attempt goes as we move now into Joey.
Yeah, Joey's opting for a 5 kilo jump, taking 67.5 kilograms for her second attempt.
The bar is loaded for Joey at 67.5 kilograms.
Let's go. Joey representing Team Canada. Just talking to Matthew, the head coach, and I think we have 75 lifters, I think, this NAPF. So it's a big team for Canada. So a little shout out to Matthew and Team Canada coaches so far, kicking things off in NAPF strong. Let's see how this goes for Joey. Nice.
Very smooth.
Yeah, good takedown speed, good control, good touch. Really nice bench.
Yeah, I guess, you know, the Canadians want to take a nice little summer vacation to the Cayman Islands.
That's why, 100%. It's a big reason I'm here as well. We don't get a lot of sun in Canada, so a little incentive, a little bonus to come to the Cayman Islands.
Or when you do get the sun, maybe you don't have a good beach.
No beach in Newfoundland, it's all rock.
So now we're loading up 77.5 kilograms. Again, another person trying to match their personal best here in the second attempt for Christy Sim from Mexico.
Yeah, speaking of beach, last night, as soon as I got in like 3:34, got to the hotel, quick shower, and the first thing I wanted to do was go out and walk on the beach and get my feet in that sand and in that ocean, and what an amazing feeling it was.
All right, Christy's looking excited going out here for the bench press, so maybe we'll get a little bounce back here after, you know, what she's had some issues on the squat.
Come to the score.
Let's see how this 77.5 moves.
Big bench. Love to see those reds on the bar for bench pressing. Let's see how this goes now for Christy, 77.5. Yeah, we were talking about range of motion earlier, about putting the hands out, putting the arch up and stuff. You could see it there maximized to the fullest.
And
Great attempt.
she had that light touch on the chest as well, which she got the quicker press command because the bar just needs to be motionless. So the quicker you can stop the bar, the quicker you can get the press command. If you're sinking it in and moving it around and everything like that, you may get a longer press command. So that's good for her. Got the 77.5. We'll see what she does for the third. Now we have Jacqueline taking 80 kilograms, just 2.5 below her personal best.
Yeah, especially when you descend the bar fast, she has a fast takedown speed, so having the correct ability to have like the stopping power of stopping the bar, controlling the bar, and then changing gears with the bar, moving in a different way. Great bench press overall.
Yeah, so now we have Jacqueline, also from Mexico. So Christy and Jacqueline are battling each other out in the 52 kilo open class. So let's see how Jacqueline's bench moves in comparison.
Nice bench.
Another very technical bencher. Maybe moved a little bit faster, but I could possibly see both of them just going up 2.5 kilos for that third attempt.
I take a 2.5 sure shot any day over a 5 gamble, especially in this situation. If they're kind of competitive and stuff like that, take those 2.5s and don't risk it, and keep building your total towards the end.
Definitely. Now we have Catherine from Canada, who opened up with a personal best of 80 kilos and now took a 5 kilo jump up to 85 kilos. So must have made a lot of progress here on the bench press. Like you're saying before, maybe a lot of people are focusing more now on bench press and getting the kilos there. And look here.
Man.
So let's see what Catherine can do here. 7.5 kilo personal best.
Having a great day lifting so far. Let's see how this 85 goes for Catherine.
Oh, smooth.
Man, yeah. Again, hindsight, but that could have looked like she could have opened there on that. Maybe 87.5 or 90 might be different, but that looked like a solid attempt.
Yeah, the left side maybe looked a little bit close on elbow depth, so maybe they want to make sure, just in case that they're being strict on elbow depth, that you can pick a lighter weight and make adjustments on the day.
100%.
So Team Canada's doing a smart job there. Looks like she went 3 for 3 on squat so far, 2 for 2 on bench. End of the bench, second attempts right here. Ariel Patra, 87.5 kilograms, matching her personal best right here. So we got our Ariel fans in the chat going. A lot of people tuning into live stream to watch her in action, representing Team USA here at the Pan American Championships.
Little swing setup. Starts out behind the bar. Swings in, digs in the shoulders and the traps. Wow. Take that bar out, then she'll drop the hips down until the glutes basically just make contact, maintaining that arch. Yeah, lift is good. 2-to-1. Red, yellow. I'm guessing they probably called her red, yellow for elbow depth is what I'm thinking. If you look at this one area, I'm thinking elbow depth in the front, red, yellow. This is pretty close.
Yeah, maybe as always, sometimes they throw the wrong infraction card, so maybe they meant to throw the red infraction card for elbow depth, so we didn't really see other issues there. But she got 2 white lights, good lift, matched her personal best. So we're moving on to the third attempts now.
So let's say that wasn't a mistake possibly by the referee. Yellow card, real quick, what's the yellow card going to cover?
So that's the hardest thing, because the yellow card is like everything else. So it could be like the head came up, it could be jumping commands, it could be the feet came up, it could be using the bar to support it onto the uprights and stuff like that. So it can be everything else like that. So we're not sure exactly what it was. The jury can always go and communicate with the referee and ask if they're interested to know what's going on. But we're moving on now. Lifter's going to be Abby Espinoza from Mexico, taking 60 kilograms for her final bench press attempt here. Going for a new personal best here.
Let's go, Abby. 60 kilos on the bar for her third attempt. And that's bench, 2.5 extra can just make a difference, but good attempt and good try for Abby.
For sure, and depending on where the person has their weak point or their weak range of motion, a lot of them are off the chest, so you kind of just see it not move. So it may have actually been closer than you than you think, because if it came off the chest, it would have moved, but it just didn't come off the chest at all. So now we're loading up for Autumn, our equipped junior athlete, 62.5 kilograms for her final bench press.
So her bench has been pretty consistent so far, you know, the 50 to 57.5. We'll see now with the 62.5 if there's any change in descent speed, touch point, anything like that. Again, with the shirt, maybe they manipulate a little bit, maybe they don't. That's for the coaches and the lifters to kind of decide. But we will see now how the 62.5 goes for Autumn in the women's equipped 52 junior class.
So you can see, again, she has to have that index finger covering the rings. The chief referee just informing her to bring the hand in a little bit because she was going a little bit too wide to a legal grip. So she made the adjustment. And she tries it back. She's fighting through.
Nice attempt.
Great fight there.
You can see a little harder touch point on that one and stuff, so probably jack that shirt down a little bit. And great attempt overall. She stuck with it on the lockout. Really nice bench press.
Yeah, as you watch the replay here, a little bit of fight there to get to the chest, and then driving back over the shoulder joint, and then just using those triceps to lock it out. Great job there. 3 for 3 in the bench press there for Autumn. Way to bounce back after the squats. So now we're going to load up for Isabella, 62.5 kilograms, which she missed on her second. We'll see if she can come back and get that on her third. So we saw this previously too, you know, sometimes the athlete misses it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know, they may make a technical adjustment, maybe they get a better lift off, maybe they feel how to use the bench pad a little bit more and come back and get it. Let's go, Isabella.
Just a bit too heavy today.
Yeah, it looked about the same as the second attempt, so yeah, maybe just a little bit too heavy for her today. So now we're going to load up for Joey Lee from Canada. Took the 5 kilo jump from first to second, now taking a 2.5 kilo jump to 70 kilos. Continue to build up that personal best and continue to build up her numbers here for the total.
Jumping 2.5 from her previous greens and great lifting so far, going in now 70 kilos for her third. Her benching has been looking solid. All of her lifts have been looking solid today, so we'll see how she finishes out this third bench press now with 70.
And just a reminder again, we're coming to the end of bench press, so again, we'll take that 10-minute break to set up for the deadlift. So we have 5 bench presses left here, and then we'll take a 10-minute break and move on to deadlift where the real battles begin.
As the saying goes, the meat doesn't start till the bar hits the floor. But until then, let's see Joey's third attempt of 70 kilos.
Quick descent, good fight.
Great benching. Well done, Joey.
And referees like it 3 white lights, so Joey goes 3 for 3 on the squats and 3 for 3 on the bench press.
Really nice bench. Well done.
Next up, Christy Sim from Mexico, going to be taking 80 kilograms for her third, so there'll be a new personal best as she's battling it out here in a tight 52 kilo open class.
Yeah, there's going to be a little battle there, hey? Yeah. Just having a look at the score sheet here with Arian, just kind of like looking at the numbers and everything. It's going to get interesting when we get to deadlifts.
Yeah, so for those of you can go on liftingcast.com, pull up the meet. You can look at forecasted totals as well. So then you'll see 382.5 versus 382.5 versus 370, even 352.5. So it's still close there with the kind of jumps these athletes are going to take on deadlift. That is anyone's game. And these third attempt benches are going to be critical as well. So let's see what Christy can do here with 80 kilograms on the bar for her third.
Big bench press, 80 kilos at a 52 body weight. Let's see how this goes for her.
She's fighting it. She's fighting it.
Wow.
Let's see if the referees like it.
Wow.
3 white lights.
Great
Go
bench. Well done.
Let's watch that replay again. Look at that grind off the chest right there. It looked like it was dead, and she kept pushing through left side, then right side.
Yeah, that whole attempt was a grind. Usually you might hit a wall at the top or it slows down or something, but right off the bat it was slow moving off the chest, and she was able to stick with the whole thing and did a great job. Really solid lift, well done.
And she really needed that after going 1 for 3 on the squat.
Yeah.
Bounce back, get 3 benches, build up those numbers, and now she's in the fight for the
So
total.
going back to what I was saying about the bench press, of how it's easy to neglect it because it's not as important, but you see in this situation how things don't go well in your squats, and you're going to want those kilos in the bench press. So
Definitely.
important to be strong at all lifts.
So now here's her competitor from the same country, Jacqueline, representing Mexico, 85 kilograms on the bar. She's been very consistent with her execution, but they took 2.5 kilo jump from first to second, now 5 from second to
Right.
third. So let's see how this plays out. And there you go, a little
And
bit
that's
to
where
her.
the 2.5 kind of could have mattered. Maybe a little bit different attempt selection. She might have picked up 2.5 more on her second, and the third, if the third gets heavy, then kind of so be it. But hey, that's powerlifting. We'll see how things go for them when we get to the deadlifts.
Yeah, and we don't know what everyone's goal is, so maybe she's trying to be more aggressive to keep up with first place. But now you miss, and now third place may try and catch up to you. So you have to watch out for the athletes who are behind you on the forecasted total as well. So now Ariel Patra coming out again, USA, 90 kilograms on the bar, going for a new personal best, and trying to stay ahead in this race in the 52 kilo open class.
Personal best here.
But again, if things don't go away on your squat, you have an off day, maybe you're injured, who knows what, but then if you've got that bench press and you work hard at that bench press and you build kilos in the bench press, it's a nice little asset to have, a nice weapon as you lead into the deadlift.
Definitely, and Ariel Patra missed that third squat, but now she's looking like she might be number 1 in the subtotal going in because of this bench press, especially if she can get this 90 kilos. Drives it back. There we go. Pretty comfortable there for third attempt. And she's excited there. Referees like it 2-1. One red faction card there. I'm assuming for the elbow depth. Let's watch it here in replay from the head. Yeah. Maybe the right side was a little bit higher than the left side. I don't think the jury's really going to touch that one. I think they're going to be fine with it. We'll
Great
see.
attempt. Great to see. She was pumped after getting that one.
Definitely. So we have one more bench press attempt here. Catherine Nguyen from Canada also taking 90 kilograms, also in this battle in the 52 kilo open. So it's going to be a little close one. She's a little bit further behind as far as forecasted total if all the deadlift openers are legit.
Yeah.
But if she continues to make and some of the people ahead of her miss, she can catch up to someone.
Her previous personal best has been 77.5 in the competition.
The ball starts right here. Took the 5 kilo jump from first to second, now taking a 5 kilo jump from second to third. Team Canada's been doing a great job with attempt selection. Let's
Yeah,
see.
she's showing some nice benching, so we'll see how this one goes now for Catherine, 90 kilos, third attempt.
Just a little bit too heavy for her today. So she got 2 bench presses in, got 85 kilos in the second, and she'll move on to deadlift. So again, we're going to take a 10-minute break now to set everything up for deadlift, and then we'll start again with flight A. So we'll see you all soon.
Again, tremendous job of keeping our lifters safe up there. Okay, A flight.
Welcome back. We are now on to deadlifts.
Beautiful. And now we get ready to have some fun as we move into deadlifts. This is when the excitement, I mean, exciting competition anyway, but this is when things are going to start to ramp up now, because this is what's going to determine the meet. You know, once that bar hits the floor, this is where the games are going to be played. This is where the numbers are going to be. So we'll see how this opening attempt goes for Katie of 110 kilos.
Looks like it's going to be a Pan American record in total as well once she secures this opener.
Oh man, he's a great attempt.
3 white lights, good lift. So, you know, once they finally get that first deadlift in, they'll secure a total. They can start working on the placing. If they broke any Pan American or world records, they'll secure that record as well. So next up, Fernanda de la Cruz, 110 kilograms as well.
And again, like, you know, really just even the preview, like as we were leading in, like the really nice visuals, really nice camera work, different angles, different perspectives. Overall, excellent job, Mike and NAPF. Love seeing what's going on here at this competition. Next up, Fernando, 110 opening attempt. Strong.
Strong opener there. And when it comes to deadlift, it's just one command, so it makes things simple. You go up to the bar and pull whenever you're ready. Chief referee tells you to bring the bar down. You can just hold on to it and control it down.
We saw some really good benching overall from you know, everybody in this session so far, but a lot of tall lifters. And you know, with the bench press being tall with those long levers, it doesn't necessarily work in your favor. But in the deadlift, that's when it's going to work to your advantage. So we're going to see how these deadlifts go for these female lifters today, as we get ready now for Emma's opening attempt.
117.5 kilos is what weight she's requesting for her first attempt. So this bar's loaded, just making sure they got everything set up correctly.
The bar's loaded for Emma.
Bars loaded for Emma Horn, 117.5 kilos, competing in our University Cup.
And if you're a new lifter, or you know, watching this and you don't know, if you're a little bit new to the sport, you'll see on her legs that she's using baby powder. And what that's going to allow is it's going to allow the bar, because the bar in the deadlift should be as close to the body as possible and maintain contact with the body, but it shouldn't be too close to the body. So the baby powder is going to allow that bar to just slide up the legs a little bit nicer and be able to lock that bar out a bit smoother. Great opening attempt there from Emma.
3 white lights there for Emma. Take a look, a little side view as well. Knees are locked out, shoulders are back. Good attempt. Now we're loading up 120 kilograms for Chiaki Takada. She's the one that broke the world record in the bench press, and so in order to make sure she secures that world record, she wants to get a deadlift in. So I believe she originally had her opener at 125 kilos, and you're allowed to change your opening attempt one time. She brought it down to 120. Make sure she secures that. And she's going to be close to the deadlift and the total world record as well. So here's just step one, working towards that.
Secure that total. Secure that. Don't DQ to get on the board to get the world record.
All right, 1 second. We're going to make sure we have the correct referees in, because we have some referees taking exams, and because she's been breaking world records, they want to make sure they have the proper referees in for these world records to be legit. So not only do I have to make sure we have the correct referees, I got to make sure they're from the right countries and the right seed and everything like that. So we got everything set up now for her.
Great day lifting so far. Clearly incredible benching to hit those 2 world records. And now she's going to pull this deadlift to just secure her total to get on the board. And then from there now she'll probably start ramping it up. She got everything secured so that she can put a bit of gas, the pedal to the metal a little bit more. And then, but she just wanted to get that first one, get on the board, get it, secure things, and then move forward from there.
Correct. That was 120 kilos. Originally she was opening with 125, and the world record in Delft is 131. So within reach there. So we're going to stay with 120 kilos now for our next lifter, Ella Haynes, looking like it's going to be a Pan American record in the deadlift and the total here.
So do you think on the second deadlift for her when she was just up. Do you think she goes right to the record on her second, or you think she takes a bridging attempt of like a 125 if that was her previous that she was going to put in? It'd be interesting to see if she goes right to that record or if she saves it for a third.
I was thinking something in between 125, 127.5, and now we're looking at 127.5 just came in. So that'll let her for the third. This second one may break the total. We'll have to look it up. Yeah, it looks like the second one will break the total, and then the third one she can go for the deadlift. Get everything. Bench, deadlift, total. Oh.
Good attempts.
Here goes Ella, 120 kilos. Well, that was very easy for Ella.
Once it broke off the floor, it moved very fast, and where she doesn't load her hips in a dynamic start, she has a static start. Sometimes with that static start, the bar might break off the floor a little bit slower, and you got to be patient with the sumo even more so. But once you got it moving, boom, it's like a bullet. So she's got a lot more in the tank there.
Definitely, and then we saw the shot of the crowd. You know, a lot of the family members coming to support the sub-junior and junior athletes. So we got a lot of people there supporting Ella, as well as a lot of the other athletes here in the session. Taking up now to 130 kilograms for Jalen Fernandez, also from USA. Also going to be a Pan American record in the deadlift and the total here.
Then in the equipped division with the deadlift, you know, generally, I wouldn't say it's the easiest of all three lifts, but the deadlift is, you know, just being able to get yourself to the bar and pull yourself into the bar and maintain a good position when the bar breaks off the floor. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, look good.
And the referees say 3 white lights, good lift.
Excellent attempt.
Yeah, and they can use a conventional or sumo stance. So for equipped lifters, you may see sumo stance more often to, again, stretch out that suit, and it can be a little easier to bend down.
Yeah,
I know when I've tried conventional, it's been a little difficult getting down to the bar. Sumo is a little bit easier. Versus the classic, you'll see maybe more of a mix, especially as we get into the heavyweight classes. You might see more and more conventional. Staying with 130 kilograms now is Alexa Swayze, also from USA.
Tell you a little funny story about a lifter that I coached a few years ago who was new to equipped, trying to learn equipped deadlifts and trying to get to the bar. I'll talk about that in a second, but first let's see Alexa's attempt. Strong.
Referees like it, 3 white lights.
3 white lights, a good attempt. She's going to open it up now a little bit more in her second. But yeah, you know, with equipped, especially in that conventional stance, getting to that bar is not easy. But I had a lifter, this probably goes back about 5 years ago when she was first learning equipped, and just struggled to get to the bar. Started her off blocks, worked our way down, tried different setups, had a very hard time kind of like learning to get to the bar. Didn't give up, she kept with it. Fast forward 2 years after that, I believe it was around 2.5, 3 years, became a world champion in South Africa. So, you know, consistency and discipline and sticking with things pays off.
I like to hear it. Next lifter, Carla Garcia from Mexico, next weight 140 kilograms on the bar, so that is about 308 pounds. We're over the 300-pound barrier here on our opening attempts for deadlift.
3 point something times body weight. Good attempt. Should be good.
Yeah, a little bit bobble at the top, but it should be fine.
2 to 1. Yeah, if you look at her hand placement, if we got that replay, you'll see her hands are really close, and her hands are on the smooth part of the bar. When those hands come in too close and you don't have the hand straight down from the shoulders, it makes the bar a little bit more wobbly, and it also doesn't give you quite a grip on the bar. So when possible, you want the arms to be as straight down to the barbell as possible, and if you can get your hands on the knurl, it's going to give you a better grip. So we'll see how things go for her after her next attempt, but for now, she's on the board.
Definitely, and you know, sometimes that's the subjective part of refereeing, because the bar can settle when they walk out, but did she lose the bar forward before it settled, or was it part of the settling? So the chief referee thought there's a little dip, the sides didn't. Good lift. We move on now to second attempts. First lifter is going to be Fernanda de la Cruz, taking 117.5 kilos now for her second attempt, which will be a new personal best for her right here, representing Mexico.
Digging in those feet, getting a good grip on the platform. Loading up the hips. Looking good.
Yes, a little bit of a struggle going into lockout, which can sometimes happen if the back is, you know, rounding a little bit more, which you'll be able to see here from the side view. So right there,
yes,
can make a little bit of fight, but still solid second attempt, 3 white lights, good lift. We'll see what she wants to do for her third. Next up, Katie Falcone from USA, 125 kilograms for, again, Pan American record in the deadlift and the total.
Yeah, often poor positioning at the top of the deadlift often needs to be fixed at the bottom, the positioning of the start of the pole versus the lockout of the pole. So if she's rounded over the bar a little bit, it'll give her better leverage and better mechanics to be able to break the bar off the floor. However, it'll put her in a disadvantageous position when it gets to the lockout. So we'll see how her next attempt goes after that. Now as we move into Katie at 125.
Taking a little bit bigger jump here,
Yeah.
15 kilos. You know, maybe they went a little more conservative on the opener to make sure they get in, and then now go to what their standard second attempt would be. Let's see how this moves.
Oh yeah, lots
There you go.
Yeah.
New record there for Katie.
I think that first one was just a little, I hate to say gimme, but I think the first one was just, hey, go and get it, get what you need, and then we'll pick it up from there. Good attempt.
And as we mentioned at the beginning of the session, it's a little bit faster competition. Maybe they want to conserve energy with that first one and then go for 2 heavy deadlifts. So now we have Jackie Takata again, like I said, taking that little stepping stone. 127.5 kilos will be a world record in the total, and then she can go for the world record deadlift on the third attempt. So she got the world record bench press, now she's going for world record total.
Very smart attempt selection here and stuff. Like as a coach, I'm always, as I'm sure you were the same way, is trying to make the right calls and not, taking too many gambles and trying to make the right attempts. So the 127.5 here, this little bridging attempt, will be good to set her up for the next one. Yeah, good attempt.
Yeah, and that 127.5 gives her 294 kilo total, and the world record total was 270. So she crushed that world record total right there.
Incredible. Her lifting is absolutely beautiful. She is such a great lifter.
I know she studies a lot and even tries to talk to athletes from Japan to ask how do they bench and how do they set up their positions, everything like that, to try and learn more. So she's definitely studying. Next up we have Emma Horn from Ohio State University taking 128 kilograms here for the second attempt. It's going to be a Pan American record in the deadlift.
Let's go, Emma.
And looking at lifting cast, I see Jockey and the coaches put 131.5 for the third, which will be that deadlift world record. We'll see soon.
Perfect attempt selection in that situation. Really good. Let's see how this 128 goes now for Emma. Strong.
Yeah, and there's someone you see it where they keep more of that neutral spine, so the lockout's a little bit smoother. We'll be able to see here in the side replay how she maintains that back position as she's breaking the weight off the rack.
100%. Yep. Improving that start position and getting your body in better position to the bar and stuff is going to make the lockout better. So you can see that maintain good position from the start, which then makes better position at the finish versus not as good position at the start, makes the bar break off the floor faster but puts you in a position at the lockout where it's not quite as advantageous. Really good lifting.
Here comes Ella Haynes, 130 kilograms for her second attempt. Going to be a Pan American record in the deadlift and the total, and just below her personal best. So this should be a very doable attempt for her.
Have we seen a conventional deadlift yet? We haven't.
I don't think we have.
Sumo all the way. Sumo life.
Which is what you tend to see in the lower weight classes. As you start working your way to the heavier weight classes, you start to see a transition more to conventional.
130 for...
Well, that was easy. 10 kilo jump and easy. So we'll see what they go to next.
Like I said, with that static deadlift versus kind of like loading up the hips, that static position, you just got to be a little patient sometimes applying force into the floor, into the barbell, but she got that one moving quickly and got a lot more in the tank. We'll see what she does on her third.
Definitely. Next up, Alexis Swayze taking 140 kilos for her second attempt. So again, just below her personal best on deadlift and total here as she continues to build towards that third attempt.
140 for Alexis, second attempt, and we do have a conventional deadlift.
Oh, there we go. We missed it.
I made a mistake. And the lift is good. Great attempt.
Yeah, it tends to be less volatile. You have your feet underneath you, a little more stable base. And she tends to have long arms, which is why you'll see the lower lockout on the thighs versus people who lock out higher in the hips. So maybe she feels strong in that conventional stance.
We're going to go into Jalen now. We'll see how this next attempt goes. We're going to give the bar a quick cleaning. Basically, you can probably clarify this for me, but I'm pretty sure it's basically they can kind of like clean the bar as is needed or as is requested, but then on third attempt, they're going to clean the bar at every attempt, right?
Correct, yeah. The rule book standard is at the top of second attempts and then all the third attempts that they have to. But then in between, yeah, if anyone requests or anything like that, then that's allowed. So here they're cleaning the bar off. Maybe Jalen's coaches ask for it just to make sure, you don't want the baby powder in there exactly where you're gripping the bar, especially if you maybe are more of a narrow grip. So they're cleaning it off, and they're going to load 142.5 kilos for her, which is going to be a Pan American record in the deadlift and the total.
Cleans the bar, gives her another minute or so. Like nothing wrong with making that call once in a while. And let's see how this 142.5 goes now. And she's in the equipped division, so we'll see how this goes. She's in a pretty good position for the start. Lock those knees hard.
Looks good to me.
No, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's part of the coaching strategy. You ask them to clean the bar, or you change third attempt deadlift last second, so you get a little extra time as a coach. Give your athlete a little bit more rest.
Yep. When you're just watching the platform and you're seeing the people tightening up the collars and stuff like that, you're like, change.
Next up, Carla Garcia to finish off our round 2, 147.5 kilos on the bar is going to be a Pan American record in the deadlift.
Bar is loaded for Carla Garcia, 147.5, second attempt. Walking out calm, cool, and collected. 100 kilos over her body weight. Double over, hook grip, I'm guessing, and like I said, with the hands kind of close like that, it makes the bar a little wobbly, but she did great. There was no kind of like no motion there or anything.
And I think that's just because the heavier weight slowed her down a little bit, where if it's very fast going to lockout, then you maybe lose your balance a little bit, get that ball. But here it's very smooth, consistent speed, and she can really get the shoulders back and not worry about it. So we have all our athletes make their first attempts, all our athletes make their second attempts. Now let's see, when we're coming into third attempts, these athletes are really going to be pushing it for world records, Pan American records, placing. So we'll see how things go. First up is going to be Fernanda de la Cruz, 122.5 kilos, so this is going to be a nice personal best for her on the deadlift and also be a personal best for her in the total.
It's about 6 kilos, 6 and change above her best, so we'll see how this one goes for her now, and we're going to get that bar cleaned.
And here you can see our 3-man jury watching over the competition. They're making sure all the calls are done correctly, all the bars and loads are doing their job correctly, the scoring, all the attempt selection is done correctly, and 99% of the time it is done correctly, but just in case you have those IPF Category 1 referees that have decades of experience there to make sure everything is done fairly and correctly.
And a quick shout out and thank you to our referees and our jury. Often, as you know, referees, you can't have the meet without them. They're the ones that are going to be basically kind of like deciding everything for the lifts and the attempts and stuff like that, and they often get kind of like behind the scenes, don't get much attention, so just wanted to say thank you to the referees and thank you to the jury for what you guys do. 122.5 now for Fernanda, loading up those hips. We'll see if that positioning pays off.
Can she grind it out? It looks like she's going to lock it up, but let's see what the referees think, Robert. There may be some blue cards there. Oh, 3 white lights. I'm wrong again. 3 white lights, good lift for Fernanda. That's great because she got 1 squat, she got 2 benches, but then 3 deadlifts. So continued to improve along the way and was able to get those personal bests at the very end. And there you go, what a fight.
Yeah, she almost lost position in the mid-range. You could see at the top how she was out of position because of her starting posture, starting positioning. However, she did a really good job of being patient, sticking with the lift, not panicking, and able to lock it out. Some really good lifting there, well done.
Here we go, next up, Chiaki Takada. This is going to be world record in the deadlift, world record in the total, personal best in the deadlift, personal best in the total. She already got the bench press world record as well, so she's everything here for the last full leg. Might as well go for all the personal best, all the records. Like I said, that world record total was at 270. If she gets this one, she'll have bumped it up to 298.
And I think judging by her lifts and her attempts and her lifting technique and skill and stuff like that, you know, she's got a very good possibility at this attempt. And the bases are loaded. This is like, everything is on this one, so let's see how it goes for her. She's already had an amazing day, and we'd love to see her finish strong and hit this multiple record attempt.
Bars loaded, the crowd's behind her, 131.5 kilograms for a new world record in deadlift and bumping up her own world record in the total. Let's go, Chiaki. Taking her time. Wait for it to break the ground. It's moving. It's going to get past the knees. Oh.
Good try, good attempt.
I thought it was going to move because a lot of times with sumo, if you can get it off the ground, it speeds up in the lockout.
But I think where she starts in that kind of static start, you know, like with that static start, I just don't think that that bar breaks up. Now, what with the static dynamic start, you have more things that can go wrong, more movement, more moving parts. But generally, with the dynamic deadlift start, it's going to generally break the bar off the floor a little bit more faster than the static. Static, less moving parts. But once that bar gets heavy statically, it's kind of hard to get it going. But she had a great day overall, right? Wonderful day.
Yeah, it didn't come away with the deadlift world record, but she got the bench and the total. And she's our first athlete in this championship to break a world record. So, way to get us started. Next up is going to be Emma Horn, representing the Ohio State University. 133.5 kilograms on the bar for another Pan American record, another personal best in the deadlift and in the total. So the excitement continues on.
A great day to start off the NAPF championships, and we're only getting things started. We've got a full week of lifting and competition ahead here in the Cayman Islands at the 2025 NAPF North American Powerlifting Championships as we get ready for Emma Horn. 133.5 record attempt here coming up for Emma. She has a strong deadlift. Let's hope she can lock this one out.
And that's more of what I'm expecting with sumo. A little bit slow off the ground, speeds up in the lockout. She maintained her position well, got that new Pan American record.
With sumo, when it doesn't break off the floor fast, it's patience, but you can see how she loaded up the hips there with that dynamic start, which sometimes I think gets the bar to break off the floor a little faster. But the big thing with sumo is off the floor, like you just said. Generally, if you can get it off the floor, you can lock it out, unlike conventional, which is, you know, going to be harder to break off the floor. So she just did a great job lifting, showed really good technique and really good patience, which is so important in the sumo. Congrats on a great lift. As we move now into Katie, third attempt deadlifts, 135 kilos on the bar for her.
Yep, another big jump for her. Going to be another Pan American record in the deadlift and the total, another personal best as well. So everything on the line here for the final deadlift here for Katie.
Let's go, Katie.
Oh, it's moving. It's moving.
Good try.
Couldn't get it past the knees.
Good try. You know, 7.5 kilo jump from her previous, or I think it was, and then, but you know, once it's, you know, hard to grind it when it's slow moving off the floor. If you can get it above those knees and stuff in the sumo, and you can lock those knees in, you can finish it better. But once it kind of breaks off the floor that slow, it's going to be really hard to get it up to the knees to lock those legs.
Definitely, but you know, that's part of their strategy too. They're trying to put pressure on this next athlete coming up, Ella Haynes, who's also competing in the sub-junior 52. So they want to try say, hey, we have silver, let's try and put some pressure on gold.
Yeah,
just couldn't quite get
definitely.
it. So it looks like Katie's going to secure the silver, and now here Ella has secured the gold and can just go here for this Pan American record in the deadlift and the total for a little bit extra cherry on the top.
We can also then probably, you know, consider attempts and stuff for like the IPF points for best lifter and stuff like that. A lot of moving parts as we get into third deadlifts, you know.
Definitely. Yeah, more in the tank there.
Great lifting.
Yeah, another one that, you know, not much of a dynamic start, more static, maintains that neutral spine right there, and that easy lockout. As we load up for our next athlete, Jalen Fernandez. our equipped sub junior representing USA, 147.5 kilos for a Pan American record in the deadlift and the total. And if you want to see the schedule for the rest of the week, make sure you go to the NAPF website. They have the timetable there so you can see which day and which session each day each of the athletes are competing. You know, we're starting with the lightest weight classes and working our way all the way up throughout the week.
On deck is Alexis Swayze.
B flight, no more opener changes.
Jalen coming out for her third attempt, 147.5 on the bar, equipped 47 sub-junior division. Let's see if she can get this one moving and lock it out. Didn't really drop the hips too much and kind of was in a bad position, so didn't get that one, but overall she had a great day. And before we kind of progress to our next lifter, we should give a little shout out to all of our sponsors here today. The Cayman Islands Powerlifting and SBD, Aleco. We've had some great sponsors here at the Cayman Islands NAPF Championship, so we'd like to say thank you to all the sponsors for being involved in this event. It's always a great event. The lifters love it. It's a great time. And thank you to the sponsors as we move now to Alexis at 147.5, her third attempt coming up. She's in second place. This will just keep her in second place, but she's going to want to finish this week strong and get this attempt. See how this 147.5 goes for Alexis here.
And I don't want to jinx her, but she's 8 for 8 so far.
Oh.
So let's see if we can finish on a good note here. Our conventional puller. And she's fighting. She locks it out. Looks good to me, Robert.
Really good lift. I think you were right there. I think that's a great attempt.
Nope.
She showed such good lifting technique and patience and finishing the day 9 for 9, having the perfect day.
Yeah, 312.5 kilogram total in the 47 kilo class. That's a solid total. We're down to our final deadlift of the first flight before we jump over to flight B. So our final pull is going to be Carla Garcia asking for 156.5 kilograms. Going to be a Pan American record in the deadlift, going to be a personal best in the deadlift and the total as well.
Big deadlift in the 47 kilo class.
And she already secured the gold medal in the 47 Open as well, so she has that locked up, going a little extra here.
This competition is 155. She's trying to bump it up like 1.5 kilos.
It's like almost 300. If anybody trains in pounds, like close on 340 pounds, I believe, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 345 pounds on the bar here. Weighing like, 103.
Right, crazy, right? The bar is loaded for Carla. Let's see how this record attempt goes for her. She's coming out to the platform. Pretty cool and calm, collected. Lots of baby powder on the legs and the socks. Let's see how that bar kind of slides up those legs on this sumo.
Especially on sumo, yeah, you have the hands and the bar. And she's got that narrow grip.
Can she get a break, get off the floor?
She's fighting it. She can get past the knees.
You can see again where that positioning kind of comes into play. If you're out of position at the start of the sumo, you might get it moving, but you're going to pay for it as that bar starts to get up. But overall, she had a great day.
Yeah, and we saw that slow down for the second attempt, and this is a little bit of a big jump, about 9 kilos. So just a little too much for her today. She'll come back and get that next meet as we now move to Flight B. Our first athlete in Flight B will be Abby Espinoza, asking for 112.5 kilograms for her first attempt, representing Mexico. New to the sport, first year. We hope she sticks around and keeps coming to NAPF.
Team Mexico seems to be growing over the last couple of years. It seems like they're getting more lifters and they're getting more involved in the competitions. It's good to see more representation from Mexico.
Definitely. And once we're done with our Flight B deadlifts, make sure you stick around. We'll take a quick break and then we'll go to our award ceremony and give out all the medals for the individual lifts as well as the total. So if you want to see your favorite athletes on the podium getting their medals, make sure you stick around after the deadlifts.
Just waiting to get that bar ready for Abby's opening attempt of 112.5 kilos from Team Mexico. Like I said earlier, you can adjust your belt on the platform. It's the only piece of equipment you're allowed to adjust while on the platform. Little adjustment of the belt clips in, smooth, easy open for Abby.
Yeah, 3 white lights, good lift. So now we're going to load up for Isabella. 125 kilograms for her opening attempt.
We've seen some beautiful lifting here in this session. These women have done an amazing job. Technique, skill, strength, all combined, and showing it on the platform. And deadlifts now last, basically after the first round, things are going to start picking up paces. Then we move into thirds, and that's when it's going to get fast and furious. But for now, everybody's just going to try to secure their opens and get on the board. We've got nobody potential bombing, I don't think.
So far, it's been really good.
Yeah.
You know, people going 9 for 9, and then anyone who maybe had a hiccup sometimes will bounce back and come back and execute on their second or third. So things are looking good right here as we go into Isabella's opening attempt, 125 kilograms. Another conventional puller for us.
125 kilo on the board. She's got that attempt as we move now next into Autumn. And we'll see a little replay here. Basically, it looks like, yeah, hook grip.
Long limbs, as you've mentioned.
Long arms, long legs, and hook grip conventional, but she got that one. Good attempt. So we move next into 132.5 for Autumn.
She's an equipped junior competitor here. So we should see a sumo stance here.
Smooth and fast. Almost looked too light for her at the top. Almost like threw out of position because it just moved so fast.
Yeah.
She'll definitely take a bigger jump on her second.
Definitely, yeah. So we'll see. They got that one in. We'll see what kind of jump they make here. And when it comes to deadlift, you know, you can go as wide as you want, as narrow as you want. You can grip as wide as you want. So a lot more freedom what kind of stance you want to use, what kind of grip you want to use, and then the static or dynamic start as you mentioned before. As we load up now for Catherine, 145 kilograms for her opening attempt.
Team Canada well represented this week at the North American Powerlifting Championships. Catherine coming up now 145. She's having a great day so far. Let's see how this 145 opening attempt goes for her.
And she's one of those 4 battling it out in the 52 kilo open. So important here to get started off on a good note.
Nice.
And there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty sumo.
She's the one that's kind of on the outside looking in as far as the total. So, you know, she's got to start putting the pressure on and then wait and see if some of these other athletes miss some attempts. We're going to stick with 145 kilograms. The next athlete is going to be Christy Sim representing Mexico. They got the bar loaded. She's coming out now. Again, the athletes have the full 60 seconds. For Delph, it's a little bit easier as far as setting up and executing. So she got out there with 40 seconds. It's plenty of time.
145 here for Christy, opening attempt. And we'll see how this goes for her. Sumo stance, loads up the hips. Looking good.
Yeah, maybe a little slowdown in the lockout, but maybe she's controlling it on purpose, you know. Especially if something happened during the squats, you know, when she was missing. You know, maybe she just wanted to be safe here. But 3 white legs, good lift here for Christy. And she's in the meet. Next up, we're loading up for Ariel Patra from USA, 147.5 kilograms, 20 kilograms below her personal best. So this should be a pretty comfortable opener for her. And she's the one that's in first place on subtotal and in the middle of the pack on deadlifts. So she's trying to maintain that lead as some other people might be trying to catch up to her.
Yeah, generally you want to be in a more advantageous position for numbers in the deadlift. The bigger the deadlift, you know, the better opportunity you have to be able to make changes and to set the pace and stuff like that. But she's probably just going to try to maintain her pace here now, try to get what she can, and then hope that nobody's able to kind of overtake her in that position.
Yeah, and that's where the body weights then start to matter as well. And Ariel is the heavier one here at 51.95, so that means the other athletes can tie her in total and beat her on body weight, so she has to be watching out for that as well. But that was very easy opener there for her.
I mean, that looked like a warm-up with like a couple of more warm-ups left to go. That one moved really well for her, so she's probably going to pick up the pace a little bit now in her next one.
Yeah, you can see she used more of a moderate stance there with the sumo. Now we're loading up for Jacqueline De Luna from Mexico, Also in this battle, she's opening up at 152.5 kilograms, personal best of 170. So she has the heaviest deadlift of these four, and she's sitting, second, third place here on projected opening attempts. So we'll see if she can start putting the pressure by being the bigger puller.
152.5 here for Jacqueline on her opening attempt. Like I said, it's going to be interesting when we start getting into thirds, but for now, opening attempt, yeah, super crisp and fast.
Yeah, it's very fast.
And with the deadlift, you can take bigger jumps. Sometimes you just want to come out, pull an easy one, get it done, because you're towards the end of the meet. 2 lifts left, you can kind of push it a little bit harder, versus if you come out guns blazing kind of at the start, it's definitely a little bit harder to maintain.
Definitely, already starting to see that. Catherine taking a 10-kilo jump, Christy 12.5, Ariel 12.5. We'll see what Jacqueline takes as we go into our final pull of the opening round, which happens to be our junior athlete, actually, Joey Lee from Canada, opening up at 155 kilograms. And it looks like Jacqueline's also taking a 12.5 kilo jump. So they're all taking 10 to 12 jump here. Waiting for see who slips up first.
Yeah, it's not always about just making attempts. It's sometimes if somebody slips up and then you're able to, slip in, get better positioning, this and that. So we will see how opening attempt of 155 goes here for Joey. Yeah, smooth.
Definitely. So all our athletes got their opening attempts. All our athletes are in the competition.
That's great, yeah.
And now we move on to top of the order, second attempts. First up is going to be Abby Espinoza from Mexico, and she's taking a 15-kilogram jump up to 127.5 kilos, which is going to give her a match her personal best in the deadlift and the total.
The bar is loaded for Abby at 127.5 kilograms.
Coming out nice and calm. 127.5, jumping from 112.5 on her opening attempt. We'll see how this goes now for Abby. Quite the contrast in style between her lifting and, let's say, Phil Brown earlier. When Phil runs out, they got to clear a platform for clearance so Phil can run out and lift it. Abby's coming out nice and calm. Hits that 127.5, makes it look good.
Yeah, the spotters have to watch out when Phil comes running in. Here they can see her coming nice and easy.
They were clearing a path for him earlier. He actually apologized to somebody. He's like, "Can you make sure the path is cleared?" He's like, "I think I took somebody out in the way." We're like, "We got you, Phil."
Next up, Isabella, 130 kilograms for her second attempt. So a little bit further away from her personal best in the deadlift and total, so maybe she's not having the day she wants, or maybe something happened in the training cycle. So they're only taking a 5-kilo jump, playing conservative. Let's see how this looks for our conventional puller, Isabella.
Nope.
And she couldn't get off the ground yet, so there might be something off there today for her. We'll see if she comes out for a third, or if she decides to pass and just shut it down for the day if she's dealing with some kind of injury or whatever. So we'll move on. 142.5 kilograms is what Autumn is asking for her second attempt, our equipped junior athlete. Autumn struggled a little bit on squat, but then picked up the momentum, going 3 for 3 on bench. Now let's see if she can finish on a good note with the deadlift.
The bar is loaded for Autumn at 142.5 kilograms.
Here she comes, bars loaded, 142.5 kilograms, about 314 pounds for you Americans out there.
345s on the bar per side, right?
Yeah, using basically a max stance here on the sumo. There you
That's
go.
good, yeah. Kind of like snapped those knees a little quick and fast, but made it look good.
Yeah, snappy off the ground. A little bit of slowdown going to lockout just when the bar kind of hits the thigh sometimes. You can still have some friction there even with the baby powder. It flies up right there, and then just a little slowdown to get the shoulders back, but really solid. Maybe we'll see another 10 kilo or 7.5 kilo jump. We'll see what the coaches opt for as we load up now for Catherine, 155 kilograms. So there's going to be a new personal best for her and the deadlift and the total.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, we get to be on the live stream as well.
Awesome.
Now you get to see get to see me and my buddy Robert King as we
Always a
finish
pleasure,
up.
man. Always a pleasure to meet and chat with you.
All right, let's go. Catherine, representing Team Canada, battling it out in the 52 kilo open, looking to put pressure on the top 3.
Nice.
Another smooth attempt there.
160, 162.5. Probably we'll see how the next one goes, what Matthew will put in for. But great attempt so far.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, that the coaches can change a third attempt deadlift twice, so they can put a number in for now, watch what the other 3 competitors do, see if anyone misses, and then make the adjustment that they need to make if they think there's a possibility for the total, or maybe even for a deadlift medal. So 157.5 kilos is what Christy's asking for, which is going to match her personal best here. So
overall, though, great day of lifting as we wind up now. Deadlifts, Christy coming up. Let's see how her lifting goes. She's had a good day so far. Her last deadlift looked good. We'll see how this one goes. I mean, this is 3-time body weight here. 3 times and a little tiny bit. 52 kilo body weight, 157.5. Pulls the hips in. Lock those knees.
oh, can she get the hips through? All right.
Yeah, she can run.
Let's see what the referees
Run
think.
the lift out.
3 white lights, go lift. But see, now the issue is she took 12.5 kilo jump. It was a struggle.
Where'd she go?
Now can Catherine chase her from behind and catch up to her?
So you can see with the sumo there, basically, when the bar kind of like gets around the knees, you want to kind of think almost like early lockout, which is trying to lock the knees, not too early, but locking those knees. If the bar travels above the knees and starts moving towards the hips and the knees aren't locked, it's going to put you in an advantageous position to finish the sumo. So generally, you want to try to like lock the knees as the bar is coming to the hips and maintain positioning and balance of the bar. So she's got lots of strength there, a little technical work to improve her sumo, and it'll be even better as we move now into Ariel at 160 for her second attempt.
Yeah, so she also opted for the 12.5 kilo jump. She's sitting, in the lead here after first attempts. So now she wants to kind of
Just
maintain
pacing.
that lead
Pace
after
it.
second attempts.
That's good. Once you got it moving, she had a good bit of power there.
Yeah, a little bit slowed down you off that bottom, but she definitely has more in her. You can kind of maintain that lead.
Interesting sumo stance with the toes really forward, straight ahead and the feet not too wide. It's an interesting sumo stance, but it clearly works for her and a great lift as we move next up to Joey Lee from Canada, 23 years old, and coming up here now for her deadlift attempt of 162.5.
Yeah, so quick little detour for our junior competitor here, 162.5 before we go back to the battle in the open. And there's going to be a huge personal best here for Joey.
Nice. That was a really good pseudo.
Very good. And the referees like it, 3 white lights. So we'll get to watch this again for that side view. Really look at her
The way she
positioning
loads up her
here.
hips is nice. It's not a big, like a huge movement. It's just small, just enough to kind of like pull herself into position and break that bar off the floor. Great lifting.
Her final pull for round 2, 165 kilograms for Jacqueline De Luna from Mexico. And she's going also in the battle of the 52 open. She also took the 12.5 kilo jump. She has the biggest deadlift, so she's trying to keep up with these other athletes and then at the very end have a final say of what medal she wants to try and grasp.
Getting everything ready for her attempt now as she comes up. 12.5 jump from her opening attempt.
And she was sitting in the bronze medal after openers, but with this pull, it'll move her to the silver medal after second attempt. So she's already starting to gain a little ground here if she can execute this.
And if she gets this one, it feels good, and it's going to then build momentum and confidence going into the third. So we'll see how this second attempt for Jacqueline goes at 165. Nice, yep. Really good patience, just getting it moving, staying, holding position, and being patient. And then once she got it moving, came up nice.
which is going to make it really interesting from the coaching aspect now, because you saw one hard lift, but then the other three, you have to try and now estimate how much more do they have, how much more does my athlete have, what number do I put on if I'm the lighter lifter, what number do I put on if I'm the heavier lifter.
Yeah, and then you're coaching people basically who you might not have ever coached before. You have limited working experience with them. You're trying to get, talk to them before competition. You're trying to see their videos. You're trying to get as much information as you can to make the right decision on game day. And as a coach, as you know, that's not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of strategy. But at this level, the coaching and everybody is doing a wonderful job as we clean the bar now.
Yeah, so for Isabella, she's the one who missed the second attempt, didn't get the weight off the ground. Let's see if she comes out for this third one. Maybe she'll give it another shot, or maybe she just wants the clock to run and run the 60-second clock to give more time for the other athletes. So we'll see what she wants to do. Looks like she's coming on. All right, she's coming on. All right, let's see. Let's see if she can come make a little adjustment. She got a little feel for the weight. 130 kilos. Oh, there we go. There we go.
That was excellent to see.
Yeah, not sure what happened on the other one. She doesn't even know. She's like, shrugging. And her coach is like, I don't know, maybe because she used hook grip, if there's an issue with the grip or whatever. Don't know, but she came back and got it, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, last one was done then, and then this one comes out. We thought she might just pass, and she comes out and nails it. Excellent lifting.
Yep, loading up now for Abby Espinosa, 135 kilograms. So she's going for a personal best in the deadlift and the total here, representing Mexico in the 52 junior class. Looks like she's going to be locked in for the silver medal. So just doing these weights here for herself, since the placing is locked up for the team points. And then if you're on lifting cast, you can look at the battle of the 52 open. We have Catherine for now, 5 kilo jump. Christy for now, 12.5 kilo jump. Jacqueline, 7.5 kilo jump. And Ariel, 12.5 kilo jump. But they have the 2 changes. So we'll see as we get closer and closer. Meanwhile, here goes Abby with 135.
Let's go, Abby. Nice deadlift, smooth.
Very smooth.
Just a smooth, really nice, smooth sumo.
Yeah, great job for her. Nice personal best there in the deadlift total. And she got 2 squats, she got 2 benches in. So maybe not the best day there for squat and bench, but then she was able to turn around 3 for 3 on the deadlift and on a good note. Nice, turnaround. Also a young lifter, junior. She can build that momentum going into future competitions. Next up will be Autumn, 147.5 kilos. She's our equipped junior athlete representing USA.
5 kilo jump from her second, jump 10 from her first to second. Now 5 from her second to third, and equipped. And again, she goes with that really, really wide stance, almost toes to the bar. So we'll see now with the suit and stuff like that, what kind of position she gets in to get that bar moving for this deadlift.
It should be very doable. She has that speed off the ground and just like getting caught on the thighs a little bit at lockout right there. So can she get through? Yeah, looks like it. Looks like no downward motion or anything. See what the referees think. Green white lights. Good.
We'll see if we get the replay here. Sometimes if you mistime the locking of the knees, the bar can kind of pull you forward. You're going to see her now when she goes to lock her knees. But you'll see at the bar, she locks a little there. See it kind of bobble. It didn't bobble, but you can see it almost pulled out of position, but she maintained positioning, maintained her technique, and she got the lift. Great lifting.
Yeah, started off 1 for 3 on squats, but then 3 for 3 on bench, 3 for 3 on deadlift. Great finish there. So now we're loading up for a Catherine win from Canada. For now, they're sticking with the 5 kilo jump for 160. And with that, it looks like she's not going to be able to put any pressure on the top 3. So they could just be doing this for her, some personal best on the deadlift and the total, because a 362.5 is just going to be too far away from the other 3 that are at 382.5 and above.
Let's see how this third attempt goes for Catherine. 160 on the bar. Representing Team Canada, making all of us Canadians proud, and let's hope she gets this third deadlift. She's had a great day lifting. The lift looks good. What do you think, Ari? I think it's a good
to me. It looks like it's going to be 3 white lights, new personal best, 8 for 9 day. Only missed that third attempt bench press. A great day for her. built up her total quite a bit. You know, she can continue to build out in the future and then work towards that podium in future
great
years.
experience, you know, getting on the platform here and competing.
Yeah. Now we have our junior 52 kilo lifter, Joey Lee, also from Canada, taking 166.5 kilos. Well, we're getting some changes coming in as well. So now as we're down to our final 4 attempts, you know, we might be seeing some changes. We might be seeing some record attempts. Looks like Joey's dropping down to 160 kilos. I'm not sure she can do that due to the lot number, so they're going to have to adjust to 162.5. So let's see what they do. So if 2 athletes are taking the same weight, the lower lot number has to go first. So since Catherine already went, she has lot number 214, then Joey can't go.
Right, she's got to go up 2.5, right?
But looks like Mexico now is adjusting down to 160. So maybe the attempt was meant to be for Christy. So it looks like Mexico is deciding to drop Christy down, who's the one who had the very challenging second attempt. So they want to try and get as much as they can. So it looks like a smart strategy there. Adjust down to 160 last minute. That would give her a 385 kilo total.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Then if we're looking at Christy's body weight versus Jacqueline's body weight, Christy is the lighter lifter, so that'll move her ahead of Jacqueline temporarily if she makes this. So,
great call.
Yeah.
So it's good attempt selection. It's up to, you know, the coaches to put in the right attempts, and then it's up for the lifter to make the attempt that's put on the bar. So we'll see how this one goes for Christy. You know, last one was hard, but you know, third attempt deadlifts, man, you got nothing to lose. Like, let's see if she's able to bring it here on this one.
You get the adrenaline going, like who knows?
You know,
it's another 2.5 kilos.
It's deadlifts, you know?
All right, here we go. Christy's got bronze medal locked up. This is going to be temporary putting her in silver medal. 160 on the bar. She gets it to the knees.
See, that's where she's got to lock those knees hard. If she was able to lock those knees hard and fall back, she'll be able to complete the sumo better. It's not so much a lack of strength. She's got really good strength, and it's just trying to basically get the timing. So you can see here basically now is that she should lock those knees right now, and those knees aren't locked. And when you try to just muscle that bar up to your hips without the knees being locked, it's going to make it really hard. So if she can get her knees to get the timing better, to lock those knees, and then not just think about falling back and bringing your hips in and let the counterweight of your shoulders fall behind the bar, it'll help her lock out much more. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of technical improvement in her next meet, but overall great lifting.
Correct. So now we're loading up for our junior athlete, Joey Lee from Canada, 166.5 kilos for that Pan American deadlift and total record and some personal best as well. And then we'll go back to the battle, the open 52 for our final 2 athletes. And talking again on Christy, she's the one that struggled on squat and only got 1 squat. So, you know, if she had a better day on squat, she went 3 for 3 on bench, she would have put her in a better position on deadlift.
So that's where those 2.5 and 5 kilos add up. You know, you get to the deadlift and you don't have as much pressure on instead of trying to do that. So, you know, she still did great hanging in there after the rough time she had on squats. As we get ready now for Joey Lee from Team Canada, Junior 52 class, classic, 166.5 on the bar. Is it Pan Am record, I believe?
Yeah, Pan American for the deadlift and the total.
Awesome. So a big pull here coming up for Joey. Class 1, she's had a great day. Let's see if she can finish strong and lock this out. Let's go, Joey. I think it's a good lift. What do you
Locks
think?
it out.
Yeah, I think that's a good lift.
White lights.
Good to see.
Great job for Joey.
Awesome.
9 for 9 day.
Excellent lift.
Huge PRs, especially on the total. I think it's like a 40 kilo PR. Ends up with a Pan American record and a deadlift in total. So great day there. Great execution by Team Canada. We're down to our final 2 deadlifts for our battle of our 52 Open. Like I said before, make sure you stick around for the award ceremony as well. But we have right now Ariel Patra versus Jacqueline De Luna. And Ariel is sitting in the gold medal position after second attempts. But Jacqueline has the bigger deadlift, so she's going to try and low what she needs. Ariel has to really maximize her total right here.
Yeah,
this will move her from 395 to 405 and really put the pressure on Jacqueline.
Yeah, she's got to kind of like get this to kind of set the pace and push things forward a little bit. So we'll see how this 173rd attempt goes now for Ariel.
Especially, as I said, Ariel's the heavier lifter by just 5 grams, so that means Jacqueline can tie the total and beat her on body weight. So let's see what Ariel can do. 170 kilos here. It's a weight that she's capable of. She's been strong on the day on her deadlifts. Pressure's on for Team USA.
Let's go now, Ariel. 170 attempt for her third deadlift. She's going to want to get this one. Get it moving. There you go.
Oh, smooth.
This makes it interesting now.
So now let's see if the change comes in and if Mexico tries to pull for the win, because now they have to go up another 10 kilos. They're going to have to adjust up to 185 kilos. That's a big ask. Or are they going to just go for some other number? And then at least now it looks like they put a one change in for 172.5 kilos, which would give her the Pan American record in the deadlift and also the gold medal in the deadlift. So maybe they're going to say, hey, the total's out of reach. Let's go for some deadlift numbers.
And she gets to go for the record. If she goes bigger and she goes for the record and it's heavier and she doesn't get it, then it costs her the opportunity for a record. You know, it's always good to take gambles, but, you know, you want to make smart gambles, smart decisions. So maybe this is the number they decide on where she can still get the record attempt, be in a good position, overall have a great day. So
yeah, you have to know what your athlete's capable of. 165 to 185 might be too big of an ask on the day. And it looks like they're about to say bars loaded, which means 172.5 is locked in. And so she is locked in for the silver medal. Ariel Patra is locked in for the gold medal. Congrats to USA and Ariel. But this now right here is for the deadlift. Deadlift Pan American record, personal best in the deadlift, personal best in the total, gold medal in the deadlift, all on the line for Jacqueline Deadlift from Mexico.
Heaviest deadlift, last deadlift of the competition today. So let's see how this goes now for Jacqueline. 172.5.
It's moving. Oh,
So
that's an ease.
It was the right attempt. I mean, you can see she walking off a little bit. Maybe the pec had a little bit of a little feeling in her chest and stuff like that. But overall, it was the right attempt selection. It was the right numbers to put in and stuff like that. But just got a little heavy. Overall, a great day of lifting. Great session.
Great day. We had the world records and the bench press and the total. We had a good battle there in the 52 kilo open. And thank you again, Robert, for coming on. I hope during the week I see you again. Man, you come on again and have some fun.
It's been great, man. I appreciate the opportunity. And thank you, Mike. And thank you to the NAPF for the opportunity. I actually had to sneak away from coaching and get permission from the head coach to come do the live stream. Mike asked me to come do the live stream. And I was like, I would love to do it, as long as I can get away from coaching to do it. Okay. So Matthew was great. So awesome time to chat with you and to work with you and catch up on things, Aaron. Always a pleasure.
So we're going to take a few minutes break here to set up the podium for the awards. And then we'll come back. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you stick around for our medal award ceremony.
Robert Keller, he is the Secretary General, International Powerlifting Federation, IPF. They will be doing our awards presentation. And let's greet our athletes from this afternoon's session. We'll get the music here in a moment. Okay, Robert, please bring them out. These are your 47 and 52 kilo class lifters from today. We need all lifters out to the platform. All lifters to the platform.
Is that 16 down here?
Okay, we're going to start out. Okay, every lifter here had to compete to get here. This is not an automatic. So every one of these has gone through competition to earn the right to be here. So even though it's a participation medal, think that they got just awarded. They earned the right to be here. Okay, we're going to start with the University Cup. Our University Cup 47 kilo class gold medal. Gold medal is Emma Horn from Ohio State University. Okay, Women's University Cup, 52 kilo, gold medal, Isabella Billio, GCU, Grand Canyon University. Okay, what I would like is all of the 47 kilo weight class lifters just step forward to the back of the podium, please. 47 kilo weight class lifters. If you would go to the back of the podium, sir, to the back of the platform, right there. Okay, women's equipped sub-junior, 47 kilo weight class, gold for all of them is Jalen Fernandez. So she has got gold for the squat, gold for squat, bench press, deadlift, and total. This is so this was sub-junior, so 14 to 19 years of age. Okay, women's raw master 3, 47 kilo, gold, Shaki Takada. So that is the squat, bench, deadlift, and total. So the women's master 3. So again, master 3 is between 60 and 67 years of age. And she's out there doing those kind of lifts. So our next, we're going to go with the women's open 47 kilo squat. The silver medal goes to Alexis Swayze, United States. And the gold goes to Carla Garcia, Mexico. So ladies, if you'll just step to the back of the platform, please. We're going to the bench press for the 47 open. Silver, Alexis Swayze, United States. Gold, Carla Garcia, Mexico. And ladies, if you would step to the back of the platform again, please. We'll go to deadlift. Silver, Carla Garcia, Mexico. Gold, Alexis Swayze, United States. And ladies, if you could step to the platform, back to the platform one more time. Our open 47 kilo class totals winner, silver, Alexis Swayze, United States. And gold is Carla Garcia, Mexico. At this time, everybody please stand. We will have the national anthem for Mexico. So if we could remove all hats, please. All hats, please remove. 47 kilo, open class. So we're going on to the 52 kilo class now. So 52 kilos, will you move forward to the back of the platform, please? Okay, we're going on to the 52 kilo sub-juniors. So our squat silver medal winner, Fernanda de la Cruz, Mexico. This is bronze. Bronze. I'm sorry, then I made a mistake. It is bronze. We have 3. Sorry, Linda. So bronze is Fernanda de la Cruz, Mexico. Silver is Daniela Hayes, United States. Gold, Katie Falcone, United States. Okay, ladies, if you can step back in line there. So, bench press, bronze, Fernanda de la Cruz, Mexico. Silver, Katie Falcone, United States. Gold, Daniela Haynes, United States. Our deadlift. Ladies, if you can go back. Okay. Bronze, Fernanda de la Cruz, Mexico. Silver, Katie Falcone, United States. And gold, Daniela Haynes, United States. And ladies, if you would step back one more time, please. For the total, for 52 kilo sub-juniors, bronze, Fernanda de la Cruz, Mexico. Silver, Katie Falcone, United States. Gold, Daniela Haynes, United States. Congratulations, ladies. And if you would step back in line with the rest of your 52 kilos. Okay, we're going to go to the 52 kilo juniors. Silver, Abby Espinoza, Mexico. Gold, Joey Lee, Canada. And ladies, if you can just step to the back of the platform. Bench press. The silver goes to Abby Espinoza, Mexico. And gold, Joey Lee, Canada. So, what we're going to do at this point, the medal for the deadlift is silver, Abby Espinoza, Mexico. And the gold is Joey Lee, Canada. And the overall total for the 52 kilo juniors, silver, Abby Espinoza, Mexico. And gold, Joey Lee, Canada. These are your 52 kilo junior lifters. Congratulations. Okay, the women's equipped junior 52 kilo winner for the squat, bench, deadlift, and total is Autumn Gilday, gold medal, United States. Okay, we're going to the 52 kilo open women's class. The bronze winner is Jacqueline De Luna, Mexico. Silver, Ariel Patra, United States. Christy Sim is our gold winner, squat, from Mexico. Okay, ladies, if you would step just at the back of the platform. So bench press, bronze medal winner is Christy Sim, Mexico. Catherine Nguyen, Canada. And gold is Ariel Patra, United States. And ladies, if you would step to the back of the platform again. So for deadlift, our bronze winner is Catherine Nguyen, Canada. Silver, Jacqueline De Luna, Mexico. Gold, Ariel Patra, United States. And ladies, one more time, please. You would step to the back of the platform. So the total winners for the Women's Raw Open 52 bronze is Christy Sim, Mexico. Silver, Jacqueline De Luna, Mexico. Gold, Ariel Patra, United States. At this time, please rise, remove hats. If you wish to face the flags, they're all right over here on this side. And we'll have the national anthem of the United States. lifters, if you will return line, that is your 47 and 52 kilo lifters. Congratulations. And if you would follow our Grand Marshal, one last round of applause for all these great lifters, please.